Other teams close to each other are listening. Now Long Qingxie is sure to say that it is Snow Devil Wolf. People over there are beginning to tremble. This is a serious level 5 warcraft. On average, they are only a little bit above level 6. When the time comes, Snow Devil Wolf will come. It's very possible that the regiment will be destroyed. The news soon spread around the camp, and almost everyone was whispering to the people around them. Just now, the camp, which was quiet and oppressive, became lively. Before long, the man who laughed at Lao Hu was encouraged by others to come to talk to him as a representative. Lao Hu, we have to talk about the Snow Devil Wolf. He had an uneasy look on his face, and obviously didn't want to take the job. Lao Hu looked at him lukewarm, did not think he would say anything good. Sure enough, next, the man is very cowardly way. This Snow Devil Wolf is you provoke come over, shouldn't let everyone with you to bear the risk. For the first time, Lao Hu really showed a cold face in front of them and said to the man, "Do you mean to let us go?" "Yes, and no. We really hope that you can leave the camp, but we mean that the Snow Devil Wolf is recruited by you, so naturally, it's up to you to solve it." When Lao Hu and others heard this, their faces were full of indignation. Snow Devil Wolf is not far away by the lake. It's obvious what's going on. It has long been interested in the prey of this camp and wants to attack here. If it wasn't for the fat man's chance to find out in advance, it's likely that they would have been attacked by Snow Devil Wolf earlier tonight. Cloud Dance tightened the fox fur cape on the tight fitting, went to Lao Hu and others, and looked at the man who was dressed like a black bear. "You mean, let's go and kill the Snow Devil Wolf, so as to fight for your escape time, don't you?" Yunwu's words pierced other people's fig leaf, and many people couldn't help looking away. The bear-like man became angry and said, "It was the Snow Devil Wolf you recruited. Do you want us to accompany you to death?" Lao Hu got up angrily, pointed to the man and said, "Gao Yuan, don't do this with me. Do you think it's my first day in Warcraft Forest? The Snow Devil Wolf has been guarding its prey for a long time. You have been its chosen prey for a long time. Even if we can delay it for a while, you can't run away." Lao Hu's words became the last straw to overwhelm the camel, and the people in the camp, who were in panic, began to retort in a panic. "As you say, are we all going to die with you? That is, who knows if the fat man did something to annoy the Snow Devil Wolf. Anyway, we won't accompany you to make food for Snow Devil Wolf." Yunwu looked at them coldly, their faces turned white and their lips trembled. It was really boring. Alan gets up steeply and looks around all the people present with some momentum. "You choose to run away like a mouse, and then be broken one by Snow Devil Wolf, or we should try to fight together." Those people who are in constant fear, like inspired by Aaron's words, shut up and began to think in a dilemma. Escape, 99% or death, stay, will more a ray of life. More and more people look around them. The 100 people gradually give them some courage. Although level 5 Warcraft has its power, it doesn't mean that all of them will be destroyed if they are good at level 6 or above. Finally, the first man raised his arm. "I'll stay." This transformation is like a virus, and the previous path to escape, once again swept all the people present. "I'll stay, too. I'm fighting with that Warcraft. Yes, we have so many people. What are we afraid of? We all stay." Sometimes Yunwu really thinks that the herd mentality of human beings is a terrible thing. At some point, it can even make you forget part of your fear and multiply your inexplicable courage. Long Qingxie came to Yunwu and naturally helped her to arrange the fox hair collar of her cloak. "Xiao Wu, there are so many good hands here. Don't be impulsive for a while. You'll get in the way of others." "Well, I see." Seeing the evil smile in Long Qingxie's eyes, Yunwu immediately realized that he wanted those people to explore the way first. Besides exploring the way, it is also because of those people's previous ridicule of Yunwu. Since they think that Yunwu is just a weak boy with no ability, let them hold this idea and go to fight with Snow Devil Wolf. His women, no matter when, are not allowed to be ridiculed and insulted at will. When Lao Hu and others heard their conversation, they could only sigh in their hearts. These idiots know how to step up and down. Now they're doing well. They're taking most of their lives out. Other people in the camp didn't even express their opinions on this, so the weak people who might accidentally die at any time don't deserve to let them say more. Lao Hu, you will follow our arrangement. The bear liked tall, quite wide shoulders, as if he was the most important person in the camp. Whatever you want. Lao Hu took a look at Yunwu and Longqingxi. Seeing that they didn't say anything, he agreed. When Gao Yuan saw Lao Hu, he had to look at the faces of the two boys. His face showed obvious disdain. Let's make arrangements and send someone to tell you what to do later. Looking at Gao Yuanji leaving with high spirit, Lao Hu snorted and called Cloud Dance. They sat down and gathered around the campfire to get warm. Lao Hu lowered his voice and asked Yunwu and Longqingxia, Xiao Wu, what are your plans? Cloud Dance stretched out her hand to warm the bonfire and took a look at Longqingxia. It was obvious that she was too lazy to explain anything. Longqingxia had no choice but to smile. The smile made Lao Hu and Fat Man shiver. They certainly hope that we can be the first birds, but why do we have to promise? Fourth brother Long, but if they really ask for it, how can we refuse? Ah Lan saw that Lao Hu cared so much about the brothers that she knew that they must have something extraordinary. He is different from others. Lao Hu himself took him in Warcraft Forest for so long, he knows what kind of person Lao Hu is. What do you refuse to do? Just ignore it. Dragon Qing evil with a bit arrogant leaning on the clouds, lips with a sneer. Is it difficult that they dare to throw us out one by one at this time to feed Snow Devil Wolf? Don't be afraid that other people will see such a thing happen, just coax and run away. Lao Hu and others did not expect that this Dragon 4 was such a man. However, according to the current situation, this is indeed the only way to deal with it. Lao Hu patted his thigh and said, okay, that's it. Hesitated for a moment, Lao Hu turned to see Coco, his eyes full of guilt and remorse. Coco, it's my father who implicated you. I knew that earlier. I shouldn't have brought you out this time. Coco wrapped in the quilt and shrunk into a small ball. Obviously, he was really scared, but he still summoned up the courage to comfort Lao Hu. Dad, what are you talking about? There are 5 little brothers here. They will be fine. She knew what level 5 Warcraft represented, but when Yunwu faced the man-eating snake, the crisp battle also gave her a lot of courage. Maybe, Brother 5 can really save them from the brink of death again. Cloud Dance smell speech peep out a smile, stretched out a hand to touch Coco's soft hair. Coco's right. It's going to be okay. Lao Hu and others just nodded to comfort themselves. After all, it's the 5th level Warcraft. No one has the bottom in mind. Gao Yuan soon came back with the decision of everyone. As expected, they wanted to push Lao Hu and others to be the first pioneers, that is, the first to test Snow Devil Wolf and the first to die. Lao Hu, no matter what, everyone still thinks that it has something to do with your fat man. You have to consider whether it is such a thing. In the end, we didn't let one of you find Snow Devil Wolf, but allowed you to stay in the camp, which has been very good for you. People on Lao Hu's side all sneered at this. Push them to die together, good. Your plan is yours, and we have our plan, she said. What do you mean? Don't you really know how to be grateful at all? Cloud Dance sneers, scornfully looking at that person tall and big, but so did not take on the coward. I'll send you to die, and you'll be grateful to me for learning, okay? Gao Yuan didn't expect to be stabbed by Yunwu, and turned over on the spot. Smelly boy, don't think that everyone will obey you like Lao Hu. It's everyone's decision. Why don't you go to the camp and guard around? It's too late. Longqingxia's dark eyes looked into the darkness, where there was a firefly-like white light flashing. He announced in a deep voice, it's coming. Longqingxia's words quickly changed the atmosphere in the camp again. Gao Yuan can't care to challenge Yunwu anymore. He can see the faint whiteness of his tan skin at this time. Aaron took the opportunity to say, now we still need to go to the periphery to guard. Boy, don't worry, when you have an accident. Gao Yuan glared at him angrily and trotted back to more people. At this time, Snow Devil Wolf has completely revealed its extraordinary. It was a giant wolf the size of a lion. It was covered with snow-white and silvery fur. It was slick and beautiful in the moonlight. However, when they saw the Snow Devil Wolf's blue but cold and merciless eyes, their shudder was because of the fear from the bottom of their hearts. When the people in Gaoyuan saw Lao Hu, they did not move, and they were all angry. But at this time, it is obviously unwise to fight against the Snow Devil Wolf. Lao Hu, let's settle the accounts when it's over. Gao Yuan pretended to shout a voice, and then began to accept the fate of the other teams together, set up a defensive formation. It's easy to see the way of the formation there. The weakest people are on the outside. The more they get to the center, the stronger they are. As for Gao Yuan, nature is the center of all people. The thin man said with a strange smile, there are really people willing to die for him. The tall man, who seldom spoke, suddenly accepted his words with no expression. How can it be out of voluntary, but it's just that he is not strong enough and can only be forced to die by stronger people. Yunwu looked at the tall man, but he didn't want to say any more. Long Qingxie said lazily, whatever they do. Anyway, there are more of them and less of us. We're not in a hurry. With that, he leaned lazily on Yunwu, leaning on the unsuspecting Yunwu. At this time, you have to sit on your own. Cloud Dance really can't stand the style of dragon pouring evil. Even if it's a brother in front of people, it doesn't stick together all the time. What it looks like. But Yunwu doesn't know. At least in the eyes of Lao Hu and Fat Man, they are not pure brothers. Long Qingxie looked at the Cloud Dance with a smile, but he didn't reply because of the large number of people. He just set his deep eyes on the Snow Devil Wolf near the camp. The white giant wolf seems to be thinking about whether it should take action when so many humans wake up and are on guard. Gao Yuan and others swallow saliva, waiting for the slow flow of time. Everyone prayed in their hearts to let the Snow Devil Wolf retreat and leave quickly. Long Qingxie looked at the Snow Devil Wolf lazily, glanced at the Cloud Dance from the corner of his eye, and quietly hooked his lips. The action was so small that no one present found it. And his Dragon Qing evil show that few can't observe smile after, Snow Devil Wolf suddenly some restlessness. It paced back and forth in place for 2 circles, the pair of ice blue eyes, closely watched the fat man hiding in the crowd. The fat man's guilty body was shaking. He doesn't recognize me, does he? The thin man made a few dry and hard whispers, Fat man, I think it has a crush on you. Would you like to communicate with it? The fat man kicked him and said, why don't you communicate? I can't say it likes lean meat. When they quarreled, the Snow Devil Wolf seemed to have made a decision. It came to Lao Hu, a small man. When things get to this point, people in Gaoyuan are naturally happy to see it come true. They all look at them with schadenfreude eyes. Make it clear that Snow Devil Wolf is looking for the fat man. It's better to eat the fat man, and then eat a few people in the team, and then go quickly. It doesn't matter who died, as long as it's not themselves. Cloud Dance looked at those people's ugly appearance at the moment of life and death, and his eyes were almost frozen. However, this is human nature. Fat Man looked at Snow Devil Wolf really came, also did not have the heart to quarrel with Thin Man. Xiao Wu, can you save your brother? Fat Man spoke with a cry cavity, a fat very rhythmic shaking out of a circle of waves, speak our shivering. Dragon Qing Evil Eyebrow Pika Pick, languidly said, that is 5 levels of Warcraft are high-grade goods, my brother may not be able to save, Fat Man, you'd better work hard. Fat Man is really about to be betrayed by Dragon's heresy at this moment. He almost tears. The wolf's eyes, like the blue ice, make the fat man have the illusion of falling into the ice cave. The next second, the fat man realized, this is not an illusion, it really recognized her. But with the snow devil wolf approaching, the temperature on their side has been unbearably low. The grass on the ground withered quickly, and fat people began to breathe with white air. It's a hot summer, but here they are, it's like a cold winter. Fat man thinks that if it goes on like this, even if it's not bitten to death by snow devil wolf, it won't be long before it will freeze to death. As soon as he gritted his teeth, he pulled out a long sword he was carrying and dyed a fierce color on his face. Fight, fight. The voice is not falling, the fat man has used with his body shape is not consistent with the agility, rushed to the periphery of their circle. Be careful yourself. If you can't, you'll run. Anyway, it won't let me go. I'll buy you some time. Cloud Dance looks at the figure of fat man standing not far away, it seems a little unexpected. This fat man has been acting unreliable, afraid of death to almost shock, did not expect, there is such a side. So it seems that the fat man can help. Snow Devil Wolf is like a king who inspects his territory. He looks at the fat man contemptuously. He is very humanized and seems to complain that his fat meat is not delicious. However, in spite of this, Snow Devil Wolf still looked around the fat man and launched an attack. The powerful giant wolf sprang up from the ground, jumped into the air easily, and rushed towards the fat man. Why did you take a surprise attack? The fat man gave a strange cry and rolled on the ground in an awkward posture, which could avoid the Snow Devil Wolf's first trial. However, when he stopped rolling, as soon as he raised his eyes, the Snow Devil Wolf had already come a step away from it, covetous. The Cloud Dance finally had the cognition to the Snow Devil Wolf's speed, in the heart surprised unceasingly. In the short time just now, she almost only saw a flash of white shadow, and the Snow Devil Wolf had changed its position. In this case, even if she goes to war, I'm afraid she will suffer a great loss. Just when Yunwu thought about it, the fat man who ran away finally began to fight back. Your uncles, I will fight with you today. The fat man roared and filled his sword with fighting spirit. There was a layer of blood in his eyes. It looked terrible. Snow Devil Wolf was stunned by the momentum of the fleeing prey. He didn't understand how the human suddenly changed his personality. That is to say, taking advantage of the gap between the Snow Devil Wolf and the god, the fat man soared with all his strength, with the momentum of splitting mountains and seas, chopped at the Snow Devil Wolf. Super fast speed is the instinct of Snow Devil Wolf. At the moment when the fat man wields his sword, it moves to the other side. However, it may be that human potential can really explode. The fat man, who has been playing with Snow Devil Wolf all the time, gave him a wound with his sword before Snow Devil Wolf moved away. Oh, then the wound opened on the Snow Devil Wolf's neck. It wailed and stepped back 2 steps. In the end, it is because of the speed of the Snow Devil Wolf that the fat man can't find the right direction. Its wound is not too deep, but there is still a lot of blood. The snow-white fur is soaked with blood. Strangely, the blood of Snow Devil Wolf is also blue. The white fur seems to be dyed with a colorful pattern by blue blood, which adds a sense of terror to Snow Devil Wolf. The people in Gaoyuan sent out bursts of exclamations. This fat man, who seems to have the same strength as them, can actually leave wounds to the 5th level high-level warcraft. The wound obviously gave Snow Devil Wolf a lot of stimulation, it a pair of ice-like blue eyes staring at the fat man. That look in the eyes, clearly is the iron heart, want to put fat dead tear up can solve hate. Grandfather is really going to die in your hands. Fat man after that blow, the whole person is dispirited down, his face pale, legs tremble, can't stand. Cloud Dance frowns at fat man, always feel that he seems to be just a little thin. Long Qingxie raises his eyebrows unexpectedly. He actually has the ability to improve his ability by force. Long Qingxie's words aroused the interest of Cloud Dance. Fat man's breath just now was still in the middle of the 6th level, but that attack, I'm afraid, could be close to the middle of the 8th level. Although want to know this inside story very much, but, Dragon Qing evil but take Xiao similar, didn't open mouth to explain to her. Let Cloud dance a speechless, but at this time. The fat man's state is at the end of the crossbow. The Snow Devil Wolf can kill him with a blow at will. The Snow Devil Wolf is bowing its powerful nape and is about to rush to tear up the human who dares to hurt it. Another breath comes out of the crowd. The fat man turned to look at Yunwu and said with a bitter smile, Xiao Wu, my brother is not joking with you. Hurry up and take people away. Although just now they all said with Gao Yuan that the Snow Devil Wolf had been here for a long time. But in the fat man's heart, he still felt that maybe he provoked the Snow Devil Wolf. Under such circumstances, he was really embarrassed to drag others to death. Yunwu stepped out of the crowd and naturally did not intend to turn back. Under the sight of the Snow Devil Wolf, he went to help the fat man. The weight of the fat man was as heavy as a hill, and his hands sank. Cloud Dance, forced to support the fat man, said to him, Go what, just you didn't want me to save you? I haven't played against Warcraft at level 5, so today is the time to accumulate experience. Take the fat man. With that, Yunwu pushes the fat man. Lao Hu and others rush to catch the fat man and almost let him die. Snow Devil Wolf has just suffered a big loss on fat man. At this time, he is very angry. However, the Snow Devil Wolf is more thoughtful and humanized than the ordinary level 5 Warcraft. This time, it seems that he doesn't dare to be his rival. Seeing the Cloud Dance appearing, he only stands ready to go and observes the strength of the Cloud Dance. Snow Devil Wolf and Cloud Dance confrontation, the whole camp again quiet down. Those who once mocked and despised Yunwu all showed disdainful smile after Yunwu took the initiative to stand up. Although fat people have never been in touch with the means of forcibly improving their ability just now, most of them have heard of it. Now look at the fat man's dispirited breath, you can see that he has paid a big price. However, he just left a wound on the Snow Devil Wolf, and did not cause any substantial damage to it. To this step, in fact, everyone's heart to defeat Snow Devil Wolf, have no much hope. Now the appearance of Cloud Dance, in their eyes, is simply a mantis arm in the way of the car. Brother Longxi, can Xiaowu really do it? Alan, worried looking at Cloud Dance, asked a sentence to Dragon Qing Xie. Wearing that heavy fox fur cape, the body of Cloud Dancing looks like it is wrapped in the night by the cape, even weaker. Long Qingxie didn't answer Alan, but he was obsessed with the figure of Cloud Dance. His woman is so handsome. The night wind is more and more intense, with a piercing chill, through the clothes and skin, straight to the bones and muscles. Cold people feel bones are beginning to ache. Snow Devil Wolf observed the Cloud Dance for a long time, and found that this human is not great except for its powerful momentum. His ice blue wolf's eyes twinkled with a merciless and bloodthirsty light. What he had just suffered from the fat man, now he can find some from this dry little human. The howling wind blows the withered and yellow weeds to one side. There is a thin sword in Yunwu's hand. Now she is more and more proficient in using space bracelets, and she can use things only with her mind in a moment. When he saw the thin sword, the Snow Devil Wolf wanted to attack. But in the next second, belonged to Warcraft's special sense of danger, as if to feel a threat, in the eyes of people cannot believe, even a little back some. However, it soon returned to its previous proud appearance. Cloud Dance will Snow Devil Wolf's reaction in the eyes, juvenile face, with a little ironic smile. The smile quickly angered the Snow Devil Wolf. He let out a low roar. His strong limbs were tight, and his huge body was like a bowstring arrow, rushing toward the cloud. Yunwu just watched the battle between Fat Man and Snow Devil Wolf, so he paid great attention to the speed of Snow Devil Wolf. Before feeling the Snow Devil Wolf's power, Yunwu has poured the power into the fine sword. The body of the sword is buzzing, a dazzling flame is drawing a curve with black smoke in the middle of the sky, with a palpitating hot temperature, throwing sparks to the fast-moving white shadow. Just when Yunwu thought that she would stab the Snow Devil Wolf with a sword, she saw the white shadow that was about to rush in front of her, but it suddenly blurred, and then disappeared completely. Cloud Dance Heart Alin, closed sword left and right to look around. But Snow Devil Wolf as completely disappeared in general, unable to find that white trace. To tell you the truth, for a second, Yunwu was a little surprised. But soon, Convergence Heart Wave, shoulders slightly sinking, the whole person is like a stopped javelin, eyes half open and half close, mental power is directly in that moment, spread around. However, in everyone's eyes, Yunwu seems to have fallen into a semi-sleeping state. People outside the battle are curious about Yunwu's action. Is she going to abandon herself, waiting for Snow Devil Wolf to appear and bite her to death? However, how can Yunwu be such a person who easily give up? She just completely precipitated her consciousness, and let her spiritual power merge with nature within 100 meters, so as to feel the existence of Snow Devil Wolf. The consciousness of Cloud Dance first sinks into itself, then flows along the meridians like invisible air, seems to evaporate out of the pores, and spreads around. At that moment, the sound of wind, water, insects, and even the beating of other people's hearts were all clear in Yunwu's mind. Cloud Dance sighed, cautious perception of all the outside world, while in the heart is secretly surprised. Her mental strength is so much thicker than before. It turns out that after absorbing the oppression of Hyo and her spiritual power, she just doubled her spiritual power, but she didn't realize it. Is this a miracle? However, in the use of her mental power, she also found that the power of witchcraft in his body seems to have improved a little. Is there a trace of witchcraft in her body that needs to be stronger before she can improve? Cloud Dance doesn't dare to be too distracted, this Snow Devil Wolf, even if she uses her whole body strength, still dare not underestimate. Suddenly, the killing intention from behind makes Yunwu cool. Cloud Dance suddenly opened his eyes, the dark eyes at this time like two deep bottomless spiral nest, strands of purple around them. They didn't see how Chu Yunwu moved at all, so they heard a wail burst out behind her. At this time, everyone saw it. Yunwu turns around and attacks. The sword penetrates the Snow Wolf's left shoulder straightly. The blue hot body flows out along the wound of the Snow Wolf's left shoulder and dyes the white fur of its left front leg blue. On the thin sword in Yunwu's hand, the flame soared for a moment and evaporated the blue liquid on the sword. The body of the sword wrapped by the flame is shining with the cold light opposite to the flame. Those who once spoke rudely to the cloud all have a sense of suffocation that the blade of the sword passed through their heart. Snow Devil Wolf obviously rarely, or even never, suffered this kind of damage in human beings. It lowers its head, licks its own wound, bares its sharp teeth, and sends out a threat to Yunwu. Cloud Dance Cold Eye glanced at it. One eye, Cold Way, your teeth are used to tear up the enemy, not to scare people. Snow Devil Wolf doesn't understand Yunwu's words, but Yunwu's aloof attitude can make it feel completely. It is extremely angry, but dare not attack easily. Twice belittle the enemy, let it more and more seriously injured, to its this class of warcraft, will not do that kind of only know to fight to death. Gao Yuan saw Cloud Dance and Snow Devil Wolf fall into confrontation again, and his heart almost jumped out of his heart. Impulsively, he shouts to Yunwu, kill it soon. Cloud Dance and Snow Devil Wolf sweep to Gao Yuan with cold eyes at the same time. The eyes can't tell who is more fierce than who, which makes Gao Yuan have the illusion that maybe they are the same kind. If you don't kill it now, you will die first. Gao Yuan restrained the trembling of his heart and gave orders to Yunwu. Finally, Gao Yuan added a threat. If you don't do it again, I'll find a way to help you. Long Qingxia looks at Gao Yuan without any emotion. His eyes are like looking at a dead man. Although Lao Hu and others are not happy with the high threat in their hearts, they really need to count on Yunwu to defeat Snow Devil Wolf before they have a chance of survival. Unexpectedly, Yunwu said to Gao Yuan, since you are in such a hurry, let it be yours. Gao Yuan's face turned blue. I didn't expect Yunwu to be so cruel. Then, Yunwu, holding a fine sword, made a gesture of no longer attacking the Snow Devil Wolf and stepped back a few steps. Snow Devil Wolf doesn't understand why Cloud Dance suddenly retreats, but it knows the strong killing intention released by the human just now. Different from Cloud Dance, which is an invisible opponent, the human power can be seen at a glance. After weighing the two, Snow Devil Wolf took another look at the temporarily harmless Cloud Dance. Finally, he paced to the height where he almost had to sit down with soft legs. Gao Yuan's face was covered with cold sweat. When he was staring at by Snow Devil Wolf's eyes, he smelled the smell of death. He didn't dare to move away the sight of the Snow Devil Wolf. His voice was extremely sad and shrill, accusing Cloud Dance. "Why did you do that? You mean it, you want to kill me?" Yunwu leisurely walked back to Laohu and they had no guilt for Gao Yuan's harsh accusation. "Aren't you in a hurry to kill it? Since you are not satisfied with my speed, let you do it yourself." In this way, people from both Gao Yuan and Laohu feel that their throats are tight. They looked down upon the young man, and finally, the first one to get the retribution appeared. But Laohu and his friends are just celebrating. They are friends, not enemies. Gao Yuan knows that he has no room to retreat now. He will die if he doesn't fight. "Everyone cover me. I'll find a chance to kill this beast." When he said this, the response to him was the crowd in front of him, like the Red Sea of Moses. Gao Yuan stares at those who dare not look at him. Unexpectedly, they let him die. However, he did not think that his initial arrangements were just for his own life to let others die for him. In the twinkling of an eye, the crowd all scattered towards both sides. Snow Devil Wolf looked like being worshipped, arrogantly toward the high. The distance between one man and one wolf is getting closer and closer. "Am I not as good as a suckling boy?" Gao Yuan's eyes were all red. He drew out his sword and burst out like gunpowder. Everyone knew that he was going to risk his life. However, Gao Yuan's fighting resistance is not worth mentioning in the eyes of Snow Devil Wolf. The ice-blue wolf eye looks at Gao Yuan mercilessly. The next second, the white shadow flashes, and the Snow Devil Wolf's figure disappears in the same place. Is as like as two peas before it was used to deal with Cloud Dancing. At this time, Gao Yuan still had some luck. Even the boy could detect the attack of Snow Devil Wolf. Of course, he could. The night wind blows the trees and leaves rustle down. Gao Yuan was surprised and used all his strength to attack in that direction. When the hand that moment, Gao Yuan's heart suddenly cold. There's nothing there. When Gao Yuan realized this, Snow Devil Wolf's huge figure appeared quietly behind him. The huge shadow will cover Gao Yuan. Before he even has time to look back, he is knocked down on the ground by Snow Devil Wolf. Strong and powerful wolf claws slap Gao Yuan down, the sound of bone fragmentation crackles. Gao Yuan, poof, spurts out a mouthful of blood. Red blood in the air presents a fog, like a piece of red smoke. When Gao Yuan's body falls to the ground heavily, it makes a sound that is not like humans' pain. This series of voices, like the death knell, ring in everyone's ears. Snow Devil Wolf's claw is pressing Gao Yuan's strength. Suddenly, it explodes his whole upper body directly from his back. Blood splashes everywhere. Gao Yuan's chest collapses into a pile of fuzzy broken bones and rotten meat. The man who thought he was king in this camp not long ago has died completely. Then something even more chilling happened. Gao Yuan's body freezes under Snow Devil Wolf's claws, and finally becomes an ice sculpture. Under the cold moonlight, there was a bright reflection on the ice sculpture. Snow Devil Wolf grinned, showing white fangs, looking like a ferocious smile. He looked down at the high corpse and was satisfied with his masterpiece. Then, it lowers its head, one bite at a time, and eats the ice sculpture made by it. Click! Click! The sound of the broken ice was heard one after another. Everyone was in a trance and had the illusion that he was eaten by the Snow Devil Wolf. The broken ice splashed to the surrounding ground, and the big mouth of the Snow Devil Wolf soon devoured the ice sculpture, or the dead Gao Yuan. Gao Yuan, as if he had never existed in this world. completely disappeared. Snow Devil Wolf's cruel means of hunting destroyed most people's resistance to it. This Snow Devil Wolf is so powerful. In front of such a warcraft, they are so small, just like mole ants, which can only become its food. The group of people who used to follow in the distance retreated step by step, surrounded by boundless darkness. The piercing cold wind was whistling all the time, which made people feel painful. "Don't kill me, don't kill me. Please." The first person who broke down appeared. He knelt down on his knees and kowtowed to the Snow Devil Wolf. His face was full of tears. He looked too frightened to speak. More and more people choose to give up their self-esteem and prostrate themselves to a warcraft, as if they are worshipping the king, or death. Cloud Dance looked at them indifferently, with no sympathy in mind. The law of the jungle: if you are a weak person, you can even give up your dignity. What's the meaning of living for such a person? Coco was so scared by what just happened that she shrank in Lao Hu's arms and couldn't even speak. Fat Man panted weakly. As the only one who had ever fought with Snow Devil Wolf except Yunwu, his eyes were full of despair. "I can kneel down to a beast. The desire of these people to survive is so strong that I feel sorry for myself." Long Qingxie sneered, with disdain in his eyes, and said sarcastically, "He and Yunwu are the same kind of people. For them, even death will not accept any humiliation." A land with people rushed out of a middle-aged man ran to the dragon in front of the evil. "What's wrong with not wanting to die? You're not afraid to die. Go and kill that warcraft." The middle-aged man rushed to the shock of reason and roared at the dragon. Alan wants to stop him when he rushes out, but it's a step too late. Hearing the middle-aged man's words, Alan dragged him back with a sad face. "Uncle Joe, don't talk about it. We'll be fine if they're here." Now the boy named Xiao Wu and his elder brother Long Si are the last hope of everyone. He can't let the middle-aged people infuriate Long Si. If their two brothers leave, they will really die. Dragon Qing evil light looking at that man, eye ground does not take half-cent emotion, that look in the eyes, more icy than Snow Devil Wolf's eyes. If you have the ability, fight for your own life. If you don't have the ability, admit it. Nine Uncle listened to his words, the face is covered by the color of despair, finally can't resist the pressure, broke into tears. Not far away, Snow Devil Wolf is killing its prey one by one. In the face of human beings running around, it seems to get a new pleasure. After hurting them and making them unable to escape, it goes to find the next target and enjoys it. The bleak cry for help, the cry of despair, the groan of pain, all joined together in the camp. Shuddering, Old Hu took out the signal bomb Ling and gave him and opened the fuse. The signal bomb flew into the sky and exploded a colorful fireworks in the night. Yunwu was annoyed by the noise. She stood up and looked at the people who were like the bereaved dogs. Finally, she had a little action. Once under the Snow Devil Wolf claw intact, survival, even can let the Snow Devil Wolf, slightly afraid of Cloud Dance, has been the focus of all people. As she stood up, everyone followed her movements and looked up at her as if he were looking at a god who could save himself. The momentum of Cloud Dance also makes Snow Devil Wolf feel. It stopped the cat and mouse game, turned to face the clouds, just some hunting, so that it belongs to the beast's blood boiling up. In the face of this human who once gave himself a heavy blow, he now, very, very much, wants him to become an ice sculpture and be swallowed by himself. Cloud Dance hands appear again, that handle of flame-shrouded thin sword. She attentively found Snow Devil Wolf's shoulder wound has healed. It seems that eating Gao Yuan is its way of healing. Fortunately, it hasn't eaten more people yet. Long Qingxie, who has been letting Cloud Dance fight with Snow Devil Wolf, suddenly reaches out his hand and stops her. "Xiao Wu, I'll go." Cloud Dance looked at him, did not speak, straight to the Snow Devil Wolf. It's her opponent and she doesn't need anyone to step in. This is the pride of Cloud Dance. Long Qingxie knew the idea of Cloud Dance. Instead of forcibly stopping her, he stepped back and let her go. Lao Hu and others originally saw that Long Qingxie wanted to take action, but they thought that things had greater hope. After all, it's better for two people to join hands than for one. Snow Devil Wolf's scarlet tongue stretched out and licked the corner of his mouth. When he grinned, his expression was so ferocious that Yunwu felt disgusted. Get the injured out of my way. Cloud Dance Head also didn't return of command A. At first, no one dares to carry away the injured people, but Lao Hu and Alan are the first to walk cautiously. After confirming that Snow Devil Wolf's attention is on Cloud Dance, they quickly drag back a wounded person. Other people see this scene, also have the courage, with the fastest speed, the guys who cannot move together. In the face of Snow Devil Wolf, Yunwu knows that now is not the time for her to blindly hide her strength. Unless she wants to die, or she wants to rely on the dragon to save her. Yunwu raises the thin sword, cuts a hole on the index finger, and the blood flows out. She will blood in his eyebrow point, white skin, as a clear guanine mole. The smell of blood stimulated the Snow Devil Wolf. It roared at the Cloud Dance, and felt the different breath in the blood of the Cloud Dance. Eating this human, for it, must be more beneficial. When Snow Devil Wolf greedily pours on Yunwu, Yunwu's own breath suddenly rises. Middle 6th stage, early 7th stage. The breath of Cloud Dance flew all the way to the peak of the 7th level in the eyes of everyone, and then it stopped like a sudden break. Snow Devil Wolf found that it was too late for him to feel afraid of the Cloud Dance. That is always wrapped in flame, fierce thin sword, this time silent. The flame on the sword body is like flowing magma, surging with the power of terror under calm. Cloud Dance raises the fine sword, delimits to Snow Devil Wolf's strong neck. Blue blood gushed out, a few drops splashed on Yunwu's face. Snow Devil Wolf rolled down in the air, a deep gully with several visible bones appeared at the neck, and the blue blood gushed out like a spring. The howling of wild animals is even more terrifying on such a dark and cold night. Lao Hu and others have been completely stupid. They did guess that the power of Cloud Dance might be stronger than what she showed. However, no one has the courage to guess that she has reached the top of the 7th level at such an age. This time, they may really be saved. Cloud Dance looked at the Snow Devil Wolf rolling on the ground, not as optimistic as Lao Hu and them. Sure enough, Snow Devil Wolf's wound healed quickly at the speed visible to the naked eye. At this time, Yunwu realized that no wonder, as a 5th-level warcraft, it would patiently wait around the camp, waiting for an opportunity to attack humans. It seems that eating a human is of great help to it. After the wound healed, the Snow Devil Wolf, who was completely angered, gave out a long howl to Yunwu. In a flash, others can only see a string of white shadows flying in front of the clouds. No one can tell which white shadow is the real Snow Devil Wolf. And with the white shadow around Yunwu, Yunwu himself also found something. The temperature around her is dropping fast. Not a long time later, Yunwu's hair and eyebrows were covered with a thin layer of frost. If it goes on like this, soon her blood will freeze, her hands and feet will be stiff, and she will become the same ice sculpture as Gao Yuan. Damn it! Long Qingxie's fierce black eyes shrank the Cloud Dance surrounded by white shadow. Compared with the calm Cloud Dance, his heart was held by an invisible hand and raised high. Yunwu, who is in the shadow of white, also knows that the most important thing now is not to delay. Yunwu thinks quickly, and her eyes are bright. The power flowing on the thin sword is like magma, which flows back to the Cloud Dancing body. She coagulates the whole body's strength to swim along the meridians again and again, and the steaming fog melts the chill on her body. Then, a more bizarre scene happened. Cloud Dance body, ting up a thin layer of flame, the flame close to her, but did not hurt her. When the cold brought by the Snow Devil Wolf is useless to Yunwu, Yunwu once again uses the spiritual power to find out the real position of the Snow Devil Wolf. This time, Yunwu directly closed her eyes completely. After blocking the visual interference, everything around her was clearly reflected in her mind. Those white shadows are getting slower and slower. When a clear beast body appears, Yunwu suddenly raises his hand, and his whole body strength converges to the sword body in an instant, stabbing at an empty position behind him. With her sword, Snow Devil Wolf's huge body also appeared. This time, the Snow Devil Wolf has always been on guard. The sword of Cloud Dance just cuts off a piece of skin on its body, not a big wound. The next scene, once again let the camp hope to be rescued, was beaten back to the abyss of despair. Snow Devil Wolf's body, healed again. That monster, can't it die? The thin man gritted his teeth and scolded. If it goes on like this, even if Cloud Dance has the strength of the 7th level peak, it will be dragged by the Snow Devil Wolf sooner or later until it runs out of strength and dies. Long Qingxie looks at the stubborn Cloud Dance and sighs silently. Without any hesitation, he walked towards Yunwu. Snow Devil Wolf was hurt by Cloud Dance again and again, but it never brought any substantial damage to Cloud Dance. Such humiliation made it more and more fierce and violent. However, it does not know that its real death is coming. Dragon Qing evil with a yang, a golden fly to tear the air, straight into the Snow Devil Wolf's shoulder. It didn't even have time to react, so it suffered such an injury. Soon, the Snow Devil Wolf was frightened to find that the wound caused by the dart could not be healed. It looks at the dragon walking towards the leisure court, and the warcraft that has been swaggering in front of human beings begins to have fear. Long Qingxie put his hand on Yunwu's shoulder and said softly, "I'll take this Snow Devil Wolf. Soon, you can catch the 5th level warcraft by yourself, just like this one." Cloud Dance is not willing to look at the Snow Devil Wolf that grins and growls to himself, and holds the fine sword in his hand, unwilling to retreat like this. She doesn't really have nothing to do with this Snow Devil Wolf. She has her cards. However, she has now exposed her real strength. Yunwu doesn't want to use the remaining cards easily. A 5th level warcraft, if all need to use the card of Baomingdu, how can she go on this alien road? Yunwu's wrist moved, and the thin sword disappeared in her hands. Be careful. Although we know that the strength of Dragon Qingxie is much stronger than ourselves, Cloud Dance still asks before leaving. Because of these 3 simple words, there is a rare knowing smile on Long Qingxie's face. It's just a 5th order warcraft. Don't worry. In spite of the public's eyes, Long Qingxie pulls Yunwu into his arms for a while, and then lets her go. Although it is such a critical moment of life and death, there are still many people have a different feeling on this issue. That kind of hug, especially the expression of Dragon Qingxie. It's not like a brother, it's like a couple. Yunwu is very uncomfortable with the embrace of Long Qingxie, but when she wants to push it away, Long Qingxie already holds the épée and walks towards the Snow Devil Wolf. Yunwu returns to the camp. In other people's strange eyes, she looks at the one-sided crush of the Snow Devil Wolf by Dragon Qingxie. Yes, it's just like Snow Devil Wolf hunting other people before. It's totally different in strength. Snow Devil Wolf proud of the speed is not worth mentioning at all. Long Qingxie can always be faster than it, one step ahead of time to seize the opportunity. Soon, Snow Devil Wolf's snow-white fur scarred, blue blood soaked with its fur. Wet fur close to the Snow Devil Wolf's strong body, but full of scars, let it look more and more embarrassed. The dragon's action is always very simple, as if it is just a random sideways step, sword. But every time, it was so accurate that it left more and more wounds on the Snow Devil Wolf. In the end, the Snow Devil Wolf devours Gao Yuan's strength and finally runs out, unable to heal for him. Everyone felt that the time passed very long, but they felt that the time ran very fast. Just in a short time, every movement of Dragon's evil spirit was shown in front of them like a slow-motion camera. And when all the dust settled, the Snow Devil Wolf, which made them desperate, was on the verge of death and could not stand up on the ground. Long Qingxie looked down at the Snow Devil Wolf, who could only give out a weak whimper, and approached step by step with the épée in his hand. Snow Devil Wolf's voice trembled, and his eyes even showed some weakness and pleading expression when human beings begged for mercy. However, these are useless in front of the dragon. Puff. The sound of the blade penetrating through the skin is so clear that the snow devil wolf with little power suffered the last blow. Ice blue eyes gradually lose luster, and finally become a dead silence. Am I dreaming? Thin Man shook God's self-talk, even raised his hand to give himself a loud slap. The pain made him laugh like a psychopath. Thin people's laughter is like the smell of firecrackers spreading in the streets during the Chinese New Year, which soon infected everyone with joy. Dad, we are saved. We won't die. Coco, my good daughter. Lao Hu was holding Coco, and the father and daughter began to cry. Other people are also blushing, full of unspeakable surprise and surprise. It seems that people can't think of this group of normal people. That is a kind of afterlife, moved by the excitement and joy. The cloud dances a face to have no facial expression of looking at to crawl at the dragon to pour evil at the foot of 5 order Warcraft, in the heart say not clear is what taste. Her current strength is definitely not weak. Although I can't help being the snow devil wolf of the 5th level Warcraft, it's absolutely no problem to protect myself in front of the snow devil wolf. However, if we want to solve the snow devil wolf like Dragon Qingxia, her strength is far from enough. In front of such a picture, Yunwu felt his weakness so clearly. And the desire for absolute power. She must be stronger. Long Qingxia takes the épée back into the space ring, sweeps away the cold and cruel look on his face, and walks to Yunwu with a smile. It's a pity that you shouldn't leave so many wounds on him. Otherwise, the cloak made of snow devil wolf's fur will be more suitable for you. Yunwu is not interested in that kind of foreign things. She is not one of those charming little girls. A fur cape can please her. If you have that idea, why don't you tell me how you plan to help me improve my strength? Long Qingxia rubbed his forehead in distress and said to Yunwu, can't people please him a little more easily? Lao Hu and they all secretly touch each other with a look of horror, watching Cloud dance and Dragon pour out evil spirits. Who dares to say that they are brothers in this mode of getting along? They are not blind, they don't have eyes at all. However, after seeing the real strength of Dragon Qingxia, no one would dare to say anything to them. In front of absolute strength, everything else is nonsense. Long Qingxia looks at the calm old Hu and tells them a few words. Deal with the snow devil wolf's body. It's time for Nangong Yi to come here. I don't want others to know that I killed the snow devil wolf. Do you understand? Some of the people were timid, and they were absolutely obedient to the dragon's orders. With Dragon Qingxia as easy to kill snow devil wolf, his strength is definitely above level 8, even up to level 9. People of this rank can't be provoked at all. I don't know. If they know that they are facing a warrior, will they be directly stunned? Brother 5. Coco wanted to say something to Yunwu, but he was pulled away by Lao Hu. Cloud Dance vaguely heard Lao Hu to Coco taught a few words, about don't let her and the dragon pour evil annoy what. Long Qingxia hugs Yunwu from behind, and her beautiful chin is on her shoulder. Little things, they are regarded as rare treasures. How do you feel? The rare treasure is you. Don't bind me to you. Cloud Dance also some care about the last snow devil wolf was Dragon Qingxia easily clean up this matter, some pimple in the heart. Long Qingxia chuckled, pasted it in Yunwu's ear and asked her in a low voice, little thing, do you think that husband is a rare treasure? I think you're a rag. Yunwu bends her arm and gives Long Qingxi a turn behind her. Long Qingxi responds quickly to avoid it, but she pretends to be in pain and refuses to let go. Little thing, you are murdering your husband. Come on, give him some compensation. Long Qingxia tilts Cloud Dance. Although Cloud Dance has been resisting, it is still kissed by Long Qingxia on the tip of White Jade's ear. The delicate touch and warm breath on Long Qingxia's lips make Yunwu feel embarrassed. She looked up and saw Lao Hu. They were all red-faced and secretly looking at this side. Think of Now and Dragon Qing evil our male identity, even call each other brotherhood, immediately in the head of a bang. Stay away from me. Don't be so shameless with me all the time. Cloud dance suddenly sink face, a push away dragon poor evil, snow devil wolf after death temperature gradually rise. Seeing that the man wants to stick his face, Yunwu takes off the fox fur cloak that Dragon Qingxie put on her and hits him in the face. As soon as the dragon's evil detective grasped it, he put the cloak in his arms without any embarrassment. Little things, you are very considerate. You should leave the clothes you wear for your husband, so that he can treasure them. Long Qingxie didn't want Yunwu to get angry. He still kept his voice light. Only the two of them could hear him. Don't talk nonsense. Yunwu grins at the dragon, grins at her like a rogue, and puts the cape back into the space. Anyway, under the shameless degree of dragon's evil, what she does will give dragon's evil reason to say dirty words. Today, if she didn't return the cloak to Long Qingxie, she would have accepted the token of love. Well, don't be angry. I promise you that when you can get out of Warcraft Forest, you can catch a snow wolf and peel it to make a new cloak. How about that? Cloud Dance think of the strength gap between himself and dragon, this snow devil wolf is a too clear watershed. If you can really hunt snow devil wolf alone, it's also a representative. She has a lot of strength. After all, Long Qingxie made a promise with her at the beginning. How are you going to help me improve my strength then? Long Qingxie narrowed his eyes, and there was a twinkle in his eyes. Secret, if you please me, I will tell you. Cloud Dance, not deceived way, love to say not to say, anyway, when I will know. Long Qingxie also wants to tease the clouds for a few more words, so Lingen comes with many bodyguards. This is Snow Devil Wolf. Lingen was stunned and looked at the Warcraft being skinned on the ground. He was so surprised that he couldn't close his mouth. This is the 5th level Warcraft. How can you die here? Lao Hu and they looked at each other and explained to Lingen according to the words they had just set up. The first one who opened his voice was Thin. He nodded his head and said, yes, this Snow Devil Wolf seems to be injured. After arriving here, he still wants to eat people. After that, Alan and several of them started to talk nonsense. We thought that left and right is a death, so we joined hands to fight with it. Thanks to our luck. Unfortunately, Gao Yuan's luck is a little bit worse. In the end, Lao Hu said, yes, you can see that many of them were injured, but one of them died. Lingen listened to their words and looked at the wounded of dozens of people. The color of doubt on her face faded a lot. There are more than 100 people here. They can attack and kill the Snow Devil Wolf of level 5, although they still feel a little unreliable. However, coupled with the high level of risking one's life, the credibility is much stronger. It's really the face of death that can stimulate people's extraordinary potential. These injured people, you arrange to send them away. I'll double the commission and give them another part of the medicine money. After Lingen explained these, he left with the bodyguard. Now Nangong Yi is poisoned, and all his strength can't be used. Lingen is very worried about leaving him. After Lingen is dealt with, Lao Hu and others tear down the Snow Devil Wolf directly. Everything from teeth to bones that can be sold for money is left. As for the Snow Devil Wolf's meat, because the meat was too hard, it was simply thrown into the distant woods by the old Hu's emissary. Yunwu had no interest in these things, and her purpose of entering Warcraft Forest was never to make a living. But when Lao Hu came over with something carefully and mysteriously, Yunwu couldn't help picking his eyebrows. Uncle Hu, what's this? Old Hu expression some flustered, embarrassed to Cloud Dance way, small 5, you call me Old Hu can, Old Hu can. I'm used to calling you Uncle Hu, so I won't change. What are you holding? Yunwu knows that Lao Hu and them are not afraid to ignore her and the dragon because of the difference in strength, so they are all a little nervous. No matter. It can be seen that Yunwu doesn't want to be too unfamiliar with himself, which makes Lao Hu happy. Yunwu even sees pride on his bearded face. Lao Hu showed Cloud Dance what he was holding in his hand, and his tone was a little excited. Xiao Wu, this is the core of the 5th Order Warcraft that we took from the head of Snow Devil Wolf. Magic Core. I found this thing in fact, when I entered Warcraft Forest for the first time before, I was asked to do it by the Samurai Academy. Of course, they were all low-level magic cores. The Snow Devil Wolf is a 5th Order Warcraft, and naturally has a magic core. Yunwu took the Cold Demon core from Laohu. As soon as he got it, he felt a chill in his palm. The magic core is not very big, but just the right size on the palm. The core itself is almost transparent crystal-like object, with bursts of ying blue light in it. It looks very beautiful. This Snow Devil Wolf was hunted by you and your brother. We will give you most of the money after we sell it. However, the core of the 5th level Warcraft is precious, so we won't take advantage of it. Lao Hu explained the matter a little. Because of the strength of level 5 Warcraft, level 5 and above magic cores are very rare in the market. This is also the decision he made after discussing with Alan and others. The magic of level 5 Warcraft is very tempting to them. However, if you can use this magic core in exchange for the favor of Cloud Dance and Dragon Qingxia, for them, the value is definitely much greater than a magic core. Long Qingxia is not interested in the core of the 5th level Warcraft. I want to know that for a man who can easily hunt Snow Devil Wolf, this kind of 5-level magic core is just as much as he wants. It's not worth mentioning at all. What's more, he also has a dragon pavilion, which is as rich as any other country. Long Qingxia saw that Yunwu weighed the magic core in his hand and said to her, Xiao Wu, since Lao Hu has given it to you, you can take it. In such a sultry weather, it's not bad even if it's used to resist the summer heat. With that, Long Qingxia suddenly added a smile. Lao Hu couldn't laugh or cry when he listened to Long Qingxia's words. So precious are 5 levels of magic core, actually used to resist the heat. This is not a waste. However, this thing was for them. Naturally, he couldn't say anything, so he stood beside him in embarrassment. Cloud Dance thought about it, seemed to feel very good, also nodded, then I'll take it, Uncle Hu, thank you. Cloud Dance put the magic core into the space bracelet and said thanks to Lao Hu. The other side waved his hand in fear. Because of the special relationship between Yunwu and Long Qingxi, Lao Hu didn't stay long. After giving things to Yunwu, he left quickly. The camp was completely warmed up, but the flowers and plants that were frozen to death last night were unable to regain their vitality. Cloud Dance looks at the horizon, a touch of orange-red from the thin clouds, the red is more and more thick, like a burning flame. At the most gorgeous moment of the fire, the huge fireball leaped out from the horizon. It's morning. I didn't sleep all night, and I experienced another battle that hit Yunwu hard. When she saw the daybreak, she suddenly felt tired and sleepy. Long Qingxia noticed the weariness of Cloud Dance. Little thing, go to sleep in the tent. Yunwu didn't refuse, so she got up and went back to the tent. After a while, Long Qingxia went to the tent to confirm that Yunwu was asleep. He told Lao Hu that they should take good care of Yunwu. Then he left alone and went into the woods. Lao Hu and others did not know what he was going to do, but no one dared to ask him. Yunwu sleeps very uneasily. In his dream, he always dreams about the magic flame. Sometimes the blood-red flame becomes a ball, sometimes it breaks into red Mars. Yunwu feels that she wakes up after a short sleep. She lifts the curtain of the tent and looks out. Lao Hu and others have already finished their work, and they all start to have a rest in shifts. Now the leader guarding the camp is Alan. Alan has been paying attention to the movement of the tent. As soon as she wakes up, she goes over quickly. Xiao Wu, what can I do for you? Cloud Dance is now fully awake. She searched around the camp, did not see the dragon's evil figure. What about Dragon 4? Where did he go? Alan Honest said, Dragon 4 elder brother after you fall asleep said to leave for a while, now has not come back. How long have I slept? It's been a morning, and I'm still wondering if I'll call you for lunch, and you'll wake up by yourself. Cloud Dance nodded. Think of Dragon Qing evil oneself, a person disappear, always feel some unhappy. Since leaving the imperial city, she has hardly separated from Long Qingxie. Now he leaves without saying hello. Yunwu has the illusion of being left behind. Xiao Wu, take a rest. I'll call you when lunch is ready. Alan see Cloud Dance seems to be in a bad mood, no longer say anything. Long Qingxie is not here. Yunwu finds out that she doesn't even have anyone to talk to. Bored, Yunwu returns to the tent, meditates and sinks his spirit into the sea of consciousness and enters the Hall of Chaos. This time, Hayo didn't sit in the Chaos Hall in a daze, but was reading a book that didn't know where it came from. Seeing the Cloud Dance coming, Hayo closes the book, and the book disappears like the black fog on Hayo's body. Cloud Dance points to black proud empty hand to ask away, where come of book? I've lived so long, and I have a few books. It's normal. Hearing that Hayo claimed to be my seat, Yunwu immediately understood that he was not willing to say more about those things. However, Yunwu has never been a person who can get to the bottom of the matter and dig up gossip. Hayo doesn't say it, so she talks about the business. Hayo, you said before that Dan Feng can make you recover your strength. Tell me about all the other materials. Hayo is not as keen on it as Yunwu imagined. He seems to be more and more calm about the recovery of strength. Although other materials are easy to find compared with Wudu stone, they are not accessible to your current level. You always have to tell me first that in case I meet you, I can keep things. Black AO to Cloud Dance insist helpless, will Dan Feng all told Cloud Dance. In addition to the 5 venom stones used to make medicine and the venom of the man-eating snake used to evoke medicine. I also need emerald vine, Zhilan grass, and a 7th level Warcraft core with that. Hayo shakes his head and smiles without any hope. After listening to Cloud Dance, he also frowned. Ficading and Zelenko are actually recorded in the Dragon Scroll, but the location is in addition. A 7-level Warcraft's magic core is enough to make her worried. The 7th level Warcraft is by no means comparable to the 5th level Warcraft like Snow Devil Wolf. To the 7th level of Warcraft, has been breeding wisdom, with the mind, began to break away from the general sense of the beast concept. For Warcraft, not to mention level 5, even level 6 and level 7 are like a watershed. For humans, level 5 Warcraft can still be hunted in the way of catching animals, but no one will choose to provoke level 7 Warcraft. The current strength of Cloud Dance, even in front of the 5th level of Warcraft, are just barely self-protection. The 6th level of Warcraft, for now she is really difficult. With your current strength, you can't do it. Let it be. On the contrary, Hayo said it calmly. After that, he remembered Hongling and Little Red Snake trapped in the black fog. He said to the cloud with dissatisfaction, that little monster, when are you going to take it away? What happened to Hongling? Nothing. I don't want to see it. Since he was imprisoned in Chaos Hall for many years, he has been the exclusive territory of Hayo himself. He was forced into a small monster by Cloud Dance. It's okay to stay for 2 days, but he felt a little dissatisfied if he wanted to keep it for a long time. Wait a little longer, I'll let it out in a while. Cloud Dance also has no way, she is really not suitable to take Hongling to swagger through the market now. In fact, there is one more thing Yunwu didn't say. After entering the Shenwang Samurai Academy, I'm afraid Hongling will become a long-term resident of Chaos Hall. Just, see Black AO to Red Ling's antipathy attitude, Cloud Dance still plans to postpone this matter to mention again. Hayo wants to say something to Yunwu, but Yunwu keenly feels the disturbance outside. Hayo, I want to go back first. Don't throw Hongling out suddenly. With that, the cloud dancing figure dissipated in the Chaos Hall. Hayo closed his mouth in silence, staring at the place where the cloud disappeared for a while. He turned the palm of his hand, found the book again, and continued to read it. The cloud dance consciousness returns to cage, open an eye to see Long Qingxie lift the curtain of tent, walked in. The light in the tent was dim. Long Qingxie stood at the door with the curtain half open. The sun was shining from behind and around him. Cloud Dance suddenly opened his eyes, was stabbed by the light, can't help squinting. In the blurred vision, the whole person of Dragon Qingxie is covered with a circle of hairy Phnom Penh by the sun, which is not true. Dragon Qing evil rarely see Cloud Dance, so it can be said that when it is lovely, the fundus of the eye shows the interest that can't be hidden. Little thing, do you want to sleep till night? Cloud Dance raised his hand to cover his eyes, and finally gradually adapted to the light from the outside world, and got up from the mat on the ground. She left the tent with Long Qingxie and went to the place where the smoke was burning. Cloud Dance casually asked, "Where did you just go?" "Go to the woods and see if there are any warcraft around here." Dragon Qing evil body shape extremely slight pause for a while, even Cloud Dance can't notice. There is no loophole in Long Qingxie's words, but Yunwu just feels that something is wrong. When Lao Hu saw them coming, he handed them the meal he had prepared in advance. Lao Hu pointed to a carriage not far away, and said happily, "Today, Mr. Nangong sent someone to send some food materials. The rice made by Coco is delicious." Long Qingxie couldn't see the joy and anger. He took a look at the carriage and looked back indifferently. Coco has always been delicious. Fortunately, Yunwu said that, otherwise, Lao Hu would not be able to get off the stage. Knowing that he might be annoying, Lao Hu pulled a few words and went back to the crowd. Long Qingxie took chopsticks and fiddled with the food in the bowl. He didn't seem to have any appetite. He looked at Yunwu, who was concentrating on eating, and suddenly said, "Little thing, we'll leave tonight." "Leaving tonight?" Cloud Dance doesn't understand his meaning, this suddenly how so anxious. In fact, Yunwu doesn't mean that she doesn't agree to go with him. She just wants to know if there's any way to help Nangong Yi get rid of the poison and give him a favor. "For my husband said to go, you follow, you are not anxious to enhance the strength of it?" Long Qingxie seems to be impatient today. He frowns and looks at Yunwu. In his eyes like black gemstone, besides irritability, there are some things Yunwu can't understand. It's also at this time that Yunwu finds out that Long Qingxie, who is always full of spirit, has some green and black color at the moment. After seeing Long Qingxie's face carefully in the sun, Yunwu always feels that his breath is not right now. A little weak, or rather, he looks tired. It's just like an ordinary person who suddenly climbs the mountain for a few days and nights in a short time. It gives people the same feeling. "What's the matter with you, aren't you feeling well?" Long Qingxie said angrily, "It's good for my husband. As long as you don't think about other men all day long, there's nothing wrong with my husband." Yunwu was upset by Longqing's heresy, but he thought that Longqing had taken more care of himself since he entered the Warcraft forest, so he forbeared for a moment and said to him, "If you feel sick, I'll show you." "No, just remember to go with my husband tonight." With these words, Long Qingxie didn't eat any food and went into the tent. The Cloud Dance is hung there by the dragon's evil, and it's very angry in my heart. The fat man came over with a bowl in his hands. Today's food is rare and rich, which makes his mouth full of oil. "Xiao Wu, have you quarreled with your brother?" "No, it's just something he said that I don't agree with." Cloud Dance now see fat, only to find that last night she felt fat lost a circle is not an illusion. Fat man's clothes used to be tight, but today they are looser. The fat man laughed and said, "This is a fight. Your brother is very kind to you. Don't make him angry all the time." "Well, I know." Cloud Dance casually shade to fat man's words and didn't put on the heart. "Hey, I'm too talkative. You two know the most about your brothers. Come on, I haven't had enough when I go back to dinner." Yunwu's attitude did not bring any harm to the fat man. He looked at Yunwu, laughed at himself, recited and went away with a bowl. Cloud Dance, on the other hand, looks at the back of the fat man and guesses what kind of past he has. Last night, the fat man forced to enhance the strength of the method, who did not see out, and this kind of thing, Fat himself is absolutely will not say. Yunwoo originally wanted to ask Longqingxi, but looking at her posture this time, she could not ask anything. After lunch, because Long Qingxia occupied the tent, Coco, the only girl, had to rest in the temporary shed outside like other men in the team. Yunwoo looks at Coco and a group of big men lying on the same mat, and then thinks about the dragon in the tent, so he feels a little depressed. She quickly approached the tent, opened the curtain to see why the man suddenly lost his temper, but suddenly heard the black arrogant stop from Chaos Hall. Don't yell at him. He won't be able to hold on if he doesn't rest. Cloud dance smell speech Aleng, surprised stare, see fall into deep sleep dragon Qing evil, don't understand why Black AO will say things so serious. What's the matter with him? If I read it correctly, there is something wrong with his soul. If it is not repaired in time, it will be nothing at first, but later it will become weaker and weaker until death. I'm afraid it's been a while since he's been in good condition. When Hyo said the word death, Yunwoo couldn't tell what she felt in her heart. But she knew that she didn't want to watch the dragon die. Even though she didn't know what stage she was in, she only knew that she didn't want him to have an accident. Hyo, is there any way to solve this problem? Yes, you can take the pills that I refined in Xiaoyao town for him. Within 30 days, he should be able to cultivate as long as he doesn't fight with others. After hearing the words, Cloud Dance takes out a familiar medicine bottle from the space bracelet, which is exactly the pill that was given to False Dragon 3 outside Xiaoyao town that day. There are many coincidences in the world. Unexpectedly, this medicine not only failed to be taken by Long San, but also fell on Long Qingxie. Just, what happened to this dragon's evil? What's wrong with the soul? Is it because of the fire that night? I can't figure it out, but my heart has increased a lot of doubts. Thinking of Hyo saying to let Longqingxi have more rest, Yunwoo puts the medicine bottle beside Longqingxi's pillow. There's only one pill. I don't worry about the wrong dosage. Seeing that Long Qingxie didn't wake up, Yunwoo stepped back. Lao Hu and his family were just dozing off. Seeing the cloud dancing into the tent and out, they were worried, and everyone was in a delicate mood. After all, in their eyes, the brothers are different from before. Yunwoo was looked down upon by Lao Hu and they had goosebumps. They simply went to a big tree not far away to enjoy the cool. At this time, Ling'an rode a strong beast horse and came at a gallop. Seeing the cloud dancing under the tree, Ling'an pulled the reins and ran towards her. When she got off the horse on the way, she almost rolled down. Ling'an kneels down and salutes to Yunwoo with one knee. He speaks very fast and says, Xiao Wu, my son has something urgent to find you and your brother. Cloud dance no Ling'an's temper, if not for emergency, he is impossible to give her salute. However, in the current situation of Dragon's betrayal of evil, if we let him do it, there will be great consequences. My brother is resting. What can I do for you? I'll go with you. Ling'an's face is not good looking at the moment. The young master is looking for 2 of your brothers. Your brother is resting and calls him up. How can you be so perfunctory to our young master? If you think it's perfunctory, then I don't have to go. Go back by yourself. By Ling'an's such domineering lesson, Cloud Dance's face also cooled down. If she didn't care that she still owes Nanganji, she and Long Qingxia might leave alone and go to practice after entering the Warcraft Forest with the exploration team. She has been enduring, does not mean that she has to see a small guard's face. Ling'an couldn't say when she heard the cloud dance turn over. She was angry and worried. A white and handsome face turned red. It's Ling'an who broke his word. Please come with me to see you first. As for your brother, I'll send someone else. Cloud dance a wave hand cold way, don't have to, who also forbid to disturb him. The attitude of Cloud Dance makes Ling'an feel humiliated. He is the highest-ranking bodyguard around Nangongyi, but now he is ordered by little people like Cloud Dance. If you have to take him with you, please wait here with me until he wakes up. Wait? If his son can wait, why is he so anxious? I'm going to take your brother to see you now. You know better. Ling'an draws out his sword and points it at Yunwu's throat. Ling'an doesn't know. With his strength at the beginning of the 7th level, he doesn't have any arrogant capital in front of Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance suddenly narrowed cold eyes. If this is not Nan Gongyi's bodyguard, maybe as early as the moment when he threatened to take the sword to her, he would become a corpse. Go or not, you choose. Ling'an's eyebrows and eyes are all over the place, and there are still some follow-up actions. At this time, Lao Hu and they all came to make it right. Bodyguard Ling, don't get me wrong. Brother Xiaowu is a little sick, so he won't let anyone disturb him. However, Brother Xiaowu has a lot of great skills. Maybe he can solve the urgent problem of Nangong. Yes, this small 5 don't look at him, let small 1, this ability can play. One person at a time, all in front of this short boy to say this, really let feel quite surprised. Ling'an finally, can only nod. Then you will follow me to see our son immediately. Nangongji's temporary residence. Just get off the horse and enter the door. Yunwu smell a smell that people can't help but want to cover their nose. The smell was very fishy. Yunwu immediately thought that they had put all the poisons they had collected here. Ling'an raised his hand, covered his nose and mouth with his sleeve and led the way in front of him. However, Yunwu was shocked when he saw the man in white lying on the bed. What's the matter? Although Nangong Yi's face is still covered with veil, his fingernails are purple, which is obviously the symptom of poisonous hair. Ling'an couldn't bear to see Nangong Yi. He only explained to Yunwu, it's the poison in the child. Suddenly, the poison has poisoned his hair. According to the person who poisoned him, within 3 days after the poison, the child will. Yunwu understands what Ling'an's unfinished words are. She turns her eyes and looks around the room. She finds that there are fewer people. Where is Shangguan? Ling'an continued to explain, Shangguan is still outside collecting poisons with people. Before he left, he said that if the young master has any problems or poisonous hair, he can find you 2 brothers and find a solution. The cloud dances and hears the speech, the brow suddenly tightly wrinkles. Looking for them. I remember that Shangguan used to look around him as if he saw something strange. However, now Cloud Dance is not exploring much. Close to the unconscious Nangong Yi, Yunwu reaches out and presses the pulse gate on his wrist, but in the next second, his face suddenly changes. As soon as Yunwu had explored Nangongji's pulse, he reached out to try his breath. Fortunately, although weak, but also shallow breathing. Cloud Dance this just secretly relaxed tone, but can't help but frown of Saw Temple E. What kind of poison is it? Ling'an sees Cloud Dance's face change several times, and tries Nangong Yi's breathing. She's scared to death. Ling'an, who is full of Nangong Yi, anxiously asks Yunwu, Xiao Wu, how is our child? Cloud Dance looked up at him and directly replied, I don't know. Although she is code-named as a miracle doctor in modern times, and she thinks that her medical skills are not bad, Nangong Yi is in a bad situation at this time, and she really has nothing to do. Or perhaps, she said that she had read all the knowledge in her mind, and could not tell what poison was in it. In the end, this alien world is totally different from the Earth. Before, she was able to conclude that the old master of Murong family was plagued, but it was because she had been on a mission to a small remote country and met a similar disease there. It's not a plague, but a kind of chronic poisoning that can be transmitted through blood or saliva. If not met, even the top medical skills also can hardly detect that toxicity exists. You don't know. Don't you have great ability? Why don't you know? Ling'an was in a hurry, and her expression was distorted. Shangguan, who knows the poison best, is not here. Yunwu and Longqingxi are his only life-saving straws now. No wonder Ling'an is like this. I didn't say that I have any ability. It's Shangguan who asked you to come to us. What's the reason for your aggressive behavior? Cloud danced coldly looking at Lingen, her ordinary young face, but exudes a strange momentum. The sudden coldness of Cloud dance makes Lingen a little frightened, but the brain which is dizzy by anxiety also calms down a little. When the room was quiet, Cloud dance said, "How long will Shengguan come back?" "As early as this evening. If it's too late, it will be late in the middle of the night." Cloud dance nodded and said to Lingen, "There are 3 days of buffer time after poisonous hair. You'd better wait for him to come back." Leaving Nanganji's bed, Yunwoo looks to the other side of the room and sees several cages covered with black cloth. From the sound of sua sua and the stench, it should be the poison they caught during this period. I don't know if Nangangi put them in his room for safety or for some reason. Just as Yunwoo was about to step out of the threshold, Lingen suddenly reached out and grasped her wrist. "You really have no way to save our child." Lingen stares at Yunwoo, and doesn't blink, like a crazy devil. Cloud dance seems to be very natural, all a hand, but directly get rid of Lingen's clamp, so easy to get rid of, let Lingen a surprise. Sure enough, this Cloud dance is not simple. "Lingen, you'd better have a long brain. Your master is Nangang Yi. What do you do if you believe in the advice of Shengguan?" This sentence before Cloud dance leaves, and her dark eyes, cause Lingen the whole person Leng for a while. When Lingen reacts and chases them out, there is no trace of Cloud dance. He went back to Nanganji's bed and knelt down. The man who is not afraid of death is very afraid of the death Nanganji may face. After leaving Nanganji's residence, Yunwoo rode back to the camp. Along the way, although her face was normal, her mood was a little confused. Ling An's words have been in her mind. Why does Shengguan let Ling An go to find her and Dragon Qingxie? Is it her or Dragon Qingxie? At that time, Shengguan stared at her. Did he find the 5 poison stone? If Shengguan found the 5 poison stone at that time, then he asked Ling An to find himself, and everything would make sense. Perhaps, Shengguan wants her to use the 5 poison stone in her hand to save Nangang Yi's life in a critical moment. However, since Shengguan knew that she had 5 poison stones, why did she go out so hard to catch poison? In this way, the left and right contradictory thought in the Cloud dance still cannot come to a conclusion. The beast horse has been familiar with the way to the camp. "Xiao Wu, you are back. What's the matter?" Yunwoo jumps off the horse's back and looks at Lao Hu, who is coming face to face. He doesn't understand why he looks anxious and excited. Lao Hu said with a bitter smile, "When Long Si woke up, he didn't see you. He knew that you were taken away by Ling An, and almost demolished the camp." Yunwoo knows Dragon's evil temper, but she doesn't see anything wrong in the camp. Lao Hu continued at the right time, but he didn't know what was going on. Suddenly he spurted a mouthful of blood, and people became soft. "It's still lying in the tent. It's broken." Cloud dance immediately think of Black Ao said, "Long Qingxie take medicine after a month can't start." At that time, she didn't ask Hyo what would happen to Long Qingxie if she started. What she thought was that when Long Qingxie woke up, she would find an excuse to explain the medicine and the things after that. How do you know that a Ling An will come out of thin air to stir up the situation? Cloud dance opened the tent curtain and smelled a faint smell of blood. Long Qingxie is sitting in front of a box. His face has disappeared, revealing his original beautiful and evil face. But now he was very pale. At this time, the dragon's evil look at Yunwoo makes Yunwoo feel gloomy. The eyes, Yunwoo always feel like a man-eating snake, and like the angry snow devil wolf looking at her. "What are you doing back here?" Long Qingxie's voice was a little hoarse, and his words seemed to be with ice ballast, cold enough to prick people. Cloud dance looked at the empty pillow and asked him, "Did you take the medicine?" "Oh, I thought it was the elixir you prepared for my husband. Unexpectedly, I almost killed my husband." Long Qingxie seldom faces Yunwoo with such a cold and sarcastic attitude. At this time, Yunwoo realizes that Long Qingxie was really good enough for her before. At least, she had never seen such a cold and stinging look on Long Qingxie's face. The two slanting black eyebrows seemed to be sharp, and the black eyes under the eyebrows were more like two gems from the ice. It's so cold that it's going to give out a chill, which makes people uncomfortable. Cloud Dance looks at such dragon to pour evil, in the heart also follow cold down. What? Do you think I'm going to hurt you? At this time, the dragon didn't answer and said, Little thing, why do you explain to my husband that once I take this medicine, I will be killed by my own power? Long Qingxie suddenly raised his hand and threw a medicine bottle to Yunwu's feet. There was nothing in it, and there was only a piece of porcelain on the ground that was almost broken into powder. Regurgitation. Only when these two words come into our ears can Yunwu understand how big the matter is this time. Dragon's evil originally damaged the soul, but this time, it was afraid of the origin. Damage to the source of the consequences of light and heavy, but most will make the strength of the slow growth, or no inch into the future. Cloud Dance throat tight, she stares at the dragon to pour evil, tone magnanimous and firm explained everything. Your soul is damaged. The medicine is to make up for your soul, but you can't do it 30 days after the medicine. I wanted to tell you when you woke up, but Lingen was in a hurry. I didn't wait for you to wake up, so I went first. Dragon Qing evil smell speech, silent for a while, to Cloud Dance asked, Lingen is for what thing to find you? Nanganji is poisoned. Long Qingxie's eyes sank and he took a deep breath. I can't see it. You still care about him. When he was injured, she went to other men and said that there was no discomfort in her heart, which was absolutely false. Yunwu didn't see his eyes. A strange flash flashed in his heart, but he still said, Dragon, what's urgent now is your injury. Long Qingxie just looks at Yunwu and shakes his head. Disappointment and a deeper complex emotion crisscross in his black eyes. Well, you go to cure Nangong Yi. You need to use the 5 poison stone and give it to him. Cloud Dance listens, the heart is a tight, this words is not the Long Qing evil temper at all. Did it really make him sad this time, which led to the change of his character? However, the next second, Dragon Qing Xia immediately proved to Cloud Dance, what is called the nature is hard to change. He supported the ground with one hand, his whole upper body was straight, and his handsome face was covered with a strong and choking killing intention. Little thing, I'll wait for my husband. When you save Nangong Yi, I'll tear down his bones one by one in front of you. When Long Qing said this, he was biting his teeth. Every word is like the sound of being squeezed out from the teeth, which makes Yunwu feel extremely helpless. When can he be a little more calm? However, Yunwu also said, don't forget, you are not only hurt by your soul, but also devoured by your origin. Who else do you want to fight with? However, Long Qingxie seemed to be stimulated by the words of Cloud Dance. He turned his head and twitched his eyes. Seeing him like this, Yunwu is a little soft-hearted. Last night, the dragon poured evil to solve the snow devil wolf. Cloud Dance suddenly Aleng, slightly opened double lips, see to Long Qing evil eyes appeared a touch of undercurrent. Why do you go to the woods by yourself today? Long Qingxie didn't expect that Cloud Dance would ask this question at this time. He didn't look at Cloud Dance directly, only hummed coldly and didn't say anything. The light in the tent is dim, and only one oil lamp is flickering. Under the dim light, Long Qingxie's face was even more pale. Cloud Dance previously found tired look, now is obviously can see weak. Long Qingxie's eyes were a little dark, and his face was as pale as a piece of rice paper. Even his thin lips, which always ridiculed others with evil radiance, had lost their color. You haven't started since the first man-eating snake appeared, not just because you want me to have more practical experience. Cloud Dance clear way, you don't do it, because you can't do it. You know very well that you have injuries. Last night, it was because I couldn't solve the snow devil wolf. You were afraid that something might happen to me, so you just managed to do it. Long Qingxie's mouth moved, but he still didn't say anything. He just left Yunwu a cold and handsome face. Long Qingxie, you went to the woods to find a way to heal yourself, didn't you? You don't want me to know about it, that's why you left on your own. After Yunwu stopped talking, there was an uncomfortable silence in the tent. Long Qingxie didn't even look at the cloud dance, but sat on the side with a gloomy expression. Can't wait to answer the cloud dance, moods suddenly sink down, inexplicable anger suddenly from the heart. Dragon. Is that interesting? Are you going to die if you're hurt? You are so taboo, I know. Don't take the medicine I left for you. Don't you suspect me of poisoning you? When Yunwu said these words, he was more and more angry, almost roaring out. She gasped and looked at the dragon, and her heart was really mixed. Long Qingxie looks at Yunwu, gnashing his teeth and burning fiercely. If you want to know what his mood is now, it's better to say that he is in a better mood in an instant. At this time, Yunwu can still scold him angrily, instead of coldly watching him be killed and turn around. That's only one thing. This little thing finally began to care about him. Maybe, nothing can make him feel good. Long Qingxie looked at the cloud dance with a smile and asked, "Little thing, are you finished? How are you doing? Are you happy?" Cloud dance now looks at this cloudy and sunny uncertain, the facial expression all dragon poor evil, the bottom of the heart really don't know is what taste. I'm very happy. Do you plan to find a way to get back at me in the future? Let me know first whether to dig meat or pick bones. Just now, I threw a knife at her. It's like a big feud in my life. Now I'm laughing at her. Don't you understand why you are angry for your husband, you heartless little thing? Long Qingxie coughed twice, and stood up with the box, although his face was still with an evil smile. However, his sick face and his flighty steps all remind Yunwu that the time of dragon's evil is different from the past. Although I really want to leave Long Qingxie behind, I can't help but think of Long Qingxie's hand in order to protect her because he knows that he is hurt. What's the matter with you now? Is it serious? Is it serious that the source has been reversed? Little thing, I almost thought you were going to murder your husband. Long Qingxie grabs Yunwu's hand and naturally leans on her. The posture of not taking advantage of her is not changed at all. She is not affected by the injury at all. Shut up, don't talk about the mess. If you are like this now, I can make you go to the west with one slap. Cloud Dance holds the big hand of Dragon Qingxie's sweat. If you don't worry in your heart, it's absolutely false. She understood the character of Long Qingxie, just as Long Qingxie understood her character. They are all of the same kind. If they are not serious enough, they will not show such a weak side in front of anyone. Tut, I think about murdering my husband every day. Little thing, how can you always be so cruel to your husband? Long Qingxie was supported by Yunwu and lay down. Although he was not in good mental and physical condition, it obviously didn't affect his mouth. Cloud Dance this time is really not polite. Baji, A to Long Qing evil brain door cover a slap. When she picked up her hand, Dragon's head became red. Little thing, you are so lawless. Long Qingxie looks at Yunwu angrily. It is estimated that if he is not really hurt too much, he must let Yunwu compensate him. Cloud Dance slapped the dragon to poor evil, and suddenly the whole body was much more comfortable. You lie down and let me think about what your body should do. With that, Yunwu simply put the dragon in the air and left the tent. Unable to catch up with Long Qingxie, he can only lie down and stare. He has not experienced this feeling for many years, and he can't even remember it. I can only tell myself over and over again that the little thing is going to rack his brains for him, and the dragon can barely suppress the fire. In the tent, Long Qingxie closed his eyes and carefully examined his current situation. After a long time, Long Qingxie opened his eyes and had a faint smile on his face. If Yunwu sees the fox-like smiling face of Long Qingxie, she will not run out in a hurry. Instead, she will stay and slap Long Qingxie to death. At this time, Yunwu sat alone under the big tree next to the camp. Because she yelled in the tent before, she was so mean that now the whole camp dare not get close to her. However, this is good, just in line with Yunwoo's mind. She does not want to be disturbed at this time. Yunwoo sits under the tree and slowly sends his spiritual consciousness into Chaos Hall. As soon as he enters, Yunwoo runs straight to Hyo, who is sitting under Xianyuan fruit tree. What's the rush? Hyo read as he did last time. When he saw Yunwoo coming, he held the book one by one, and the book disappeared as he did last time. Long Qingxie is now being bitten by the medicine and hurt the source. Do you have any solutions? Black Ao naturally Wei, is he hurt the origin, not you, why should I want to solve? Cloud dance for a while, she knew Black Proud is this temper. Moreover, he has always had a great opinion on Long Qingxie. This time, he will take medicine for Long Qingxie to make up for his soul problem, mostly because Long Qingxie has solved the problem of Snow Devil Wolf. However, for Hyo, he doesn't need to help Long Qingxie anymore. Cloud Dance helpless, had to say, Black Proud, medicine is I give him, I always want to be responsible for this matter. He doesn't have a brain of his own. What's your responsibility? Do you want to pay for his life next time he kills himself with the weapon you gave him? Black Proud mouth always poison, Cloud Dance rub forehead. Hyo, if he dies, I will lose a great help from the outside world. Do you understand? Black Proud shut mouth, after a few breath, suddenly to Cloud Dance Way, I can't appear, to you, it's useless, isn't it? Cloud Dance don't know how Black Ao will think of things there, but now calculate her to others, also can only follow the Black Ao topic. You've helped me a lot, the witch family's holy fire and the cannibal snake. Which time didn't you save my life? Black Proud expression eased a bit, finally unwilling to give Cloud Dance solution. His cultivation today is different from that of ordinary people. He can't recover in ordinary ways. If you want to help him, maybe you can find the blood of Warcraft above level 7 and do a bloodbath for him. But I don't guarantee it. Smell speech, Cloud Dance a depressed. However, there is a way better than no way, just, Cloud Dance think of the Snow Devil Wolf, suddenly big head. 5th Order Warcraft? Black Ao's scarlet eyes suddenly looked at her and said, if you can't find level 5 Warcraft, you can also find someone, but you need to be more powerful than a warrior. If you can get higher, it's better. Yunwoo's face is about to be the same color as Hyo's. Samurai, even more powerful than samurai? With her strength at the top of the 7th level and her strength at the beginning of the 9th level, I'm afraid it's the limit. It seems almost impossible to defeat a warrior or more. However, if it is necessary to save him, she may not hesitate. But now it seems that his condition does not really need to be abnormal to the point where human blood is needed. Maybe we can try animal blood first. Black Proud see Cloud Dance complexion tangled, it is oneself mood is much better. If you know all the methods, go and find a way. As soon as he turned the palm of his hand, the thread-bound book appeared again, turning the page to the part he had read before. Cloud Dance see Black Arrogance calm spirit idle appearance, also understand that he is not happy, she wants to save the dragon poor evil, will have such an attitude. Fortunately, this guy is in the hall. If he is also outside, I don't know if he will make a fuss. Withdraw from the Chaos Hall, Yunwoo slowly opens her eyes, a very light purple flash in her eyes. The posture of leaning against the tree for a long time made Yunwoo feel uncomfortable. She moved her muscles and bones and got up to go to the camp. Lao Hu and others saw that she walked straight towards them, and they felt a little bit drummed in their hearts. In the end, the Coco people are timid. No matter how educated, they all remember that Yunwoo told her that they would be friends and take the initiative to ask Yunwoo questions. Brother 5, what happened to you and Brother 4? It's nothing. He's not well and he's not obedient, so I reprimanded him. The Cloud Dance remembers the movement that she scolds the dragon to poor evil before, on the face rare flit over a trace of awkwardness. But that's all. Coco said simply, my father is a little annoyed when he is sick. Brother 5, please bear with me. Xiao Wu, what can we do for you? Lao Hu laughed at the people beside him and interrupted Coco. Yes, tell me the general trend range of Warcraft around here. I want the most detailed information, including Warcraft level, species, and strength ranking in the same level. Lao Hu was surprised and asked. Xiao Wu, what do you want to do with those Warcraft? Practice hand, turn back to pick a snow devil wolf skin, and make a cape for Coco. Coco's eyes are bent up with laughter. Snow devil wolf's fur is like snow. In fact, she likes it very much. Just because of the terrible strength of snow devil wolf, I dare not say it all the time. Lao Hu's forehead was sweating. He advised, Xiao Wu, don't mess with me. Long Si is injured now. You can't have any more accidents. When Yunwu asked Lao Hu to give her a map, Long Qingxie came out of the tent. His face was the same as that of the young hunter when he changed face, which covered up his original beautiful face. Lao Hu, Xiao Wu wants a map. You can prepare one. I'll go with Xiao Wu. Lao Hu is very proud of the dragon. Well, I'll let someone prepare. Dragon 4, is your body really okay? Nothing. Before Lao Hu went to find the map, he carefully looked at Long Qingxie for a long time to make sure that there was nothing wrong with him. Then he felt relieved to find someone to make the map. Long Qingxie took Yunwu and sat down in front of the big tree next to the camp. He walked calmly and couldn't find any abnormality. Little thing, what are you looking at? Cloud Dance found at this time's change of appearance, Long Qingxie seems to have done something. Before the appearance of Irong can let people see his face, but now, that face is too ruddy to be more healthy, and it can't be seen that he was seriously injured before, so he was about to die. If you look at it like this, you can't see the feeling of injury at all. Who said, Weifu is very weak now? Long Qingxie reaches out and hugs Yunwu's shoulder, and sticks to her at this good time. Yunwu struggled uneasily for a while, but after he found that Long Qingxie had pasted him, and his temperature was abnormally low, he didn't really slap him away. By the way, little thing, what do you want to do with level 5 Warcraft? Cloud Dance eyelid moved for a while, in the heart immediately had to reply. I have seen in ancient books that people who hurt their soul and origin at the same time can try to repair their wounds by soaking them in the blood of Warcraft above level 5. Long Qingxie doesn't believe it, nor does he believe it. He just looks at the clouds with his lips. By his deep black eyes so staring, Cloud Dance always feel, Dragon Qing evil seems to see what. If you don't believe it, you cannot do it. Cloud Dance in the heart still has a bit of confidence, no matter be Chaos Temple or Black Proud, is not easy to let a person see the bottom card. Even if it's Dragon, I'm afraid it doesn't have that ability. If you try it, you won't die. You dare to take the medicine of this little thing. Are you afraid of anything else? In fact, before for her, he had used animal blood for her many times, but Yunwu didn't know it. Cloud Dance what he one eye way, early know you so love to take medicine, I should simply give you some other medicine, directly poison dumb you, let you this mouth can no longer nonsense. Dragon Qing Xia pulled a long tone, a sound, as if he had found something extraordinary. He was very happy to hold Yunwu, looked down to her and asked, little thing, you just want to make Weifu dumb now, don't want to kill Weifu anymore? Yunwu was a little surprised. Then she remembered that she seemed to be more and more tolerant of Dragon's evil. This is not a good phenomenon. Now you are like this, I still threaten you with killing you. Just do it. Although she was worried about him, who knew what he would do to make her jump with anger because of the dragon's ability to push her nose and face. The dragon poured evil like true or false and hid his face and said, hey, you little thing, you really hurt my husband. If Yunwu wanted to say anything else, he found that in the camp not far away, almost everyone was watching them. With her eyes after the relative, the group of people together with the twist of the beginning, began a lively conversation. Cloud Dance suddenly blushes and pushes the dragon away. Be serious with me. However, she forgot the current situation of Long Qingxie. With such a push, she pushed Long Qingxi backward and bumped into the hard tree trunk. Hiss. Long Qingxia covered the back of his brain in pain. He hated the situation that his hands were powerless. Little thing, do you really do it? Yunwu wants to check it, but he thinks it's too sentimental and unaccustomed. How do I know you are so useless now? You can't even push it. Cloud dance. This knife mends, is in the dragon to poor evil heart nest that piece of soft meat. For a strong person, what else is more useless than others, especially those who have always needed to make complaints about themselves? At least, for the dragon at this time, there is no more. And Cloud dance, it seems that also aware of their own words seems to be a little too much. You'd better have a rest in the camp first. I'll go and be back soon. With that, Yunwu wanted to find Laohu. Long Qingxia catches her and rarely sits upright once. He says to Yunwu seriously, "Are you going to leave Weifu alone in the camp? If they know what I'm doing, are you sure that will keep me safe?" When he said this, Yunwu thought it was not appropriate to leave the dragon alone. Even if the people in the camp dare not move him, but in case the Shengguan comes back to find them. It's hard to ensure that he won't be seen by the superior. It's not clear whether this man is an enemy or a friend. If he wants to attack the dragon, things will be terrible. However, the Warcraft forest is full of danger. You follow me, the situation is not so good. Dragon Qing Xia is very arrogant smile, that pair of black eyes is full of endless charm, heartbroken. Little thing, what's the point of living if I can't even help a few animals? You can rest assured that my husband will not delay you. Yunwu thought for a long time and finally said, "Okay, then you can go with me." Make such a decision, Cloud Dance will not say anything. At least, with her there, she would make sure he was safe. As soon as they reached an agreement, the sound of horses' hooves came from a distance rhythmically. Long Qingxia narrowed his eyes and looked at it, as if there were stars in his eyes, with a sharp edge like a sword blade. Shengguan rode in the front of the team, but Ling'an followed him behind, as if he had become his bodyguard. Shengguan rode to Yunwu and Long Qingxi. He didn't dismount. He just sat on the horse and talked to them. The situation of Nanganji is not very good. Aren't you two ready to fight yet? Long Qingxia asked him, don't you promise that you can be responsible for Nanganji's poison? Why do you want someone else to do it now? Shengguan opened his mouth to refute, but he was cut off by Long Qingxia. What's more, our brothers just came to look for the 5 poison stone. When will we have to detoxify Nanganji? Ling'an looks at Long Qingxia's attitude that he doesn't care whether Nangong Yi is alive or dead. He is angry and his eyes are fierce. Dragon 4, you have a way to save my son, but you just don't save him. Do you want to be the enemy of Nangong family? Ling'an rode forward, holding the reins almost into the flesh and blood of the palm. Long Qingxia glanced at him lazily and asked, who stipulated that people in your Nangong family must be saved? He is not happy because of Nanmi's affairs in Japan these days. The guy who wants to die is still talking nonsense. If it wasn't for the fact that the body was still recovering, Long Qingxia really wanted to pull Ling'an's tongue to make it quiet. Shengguan stops Ling'an who wants to fight and turns to Yunwu who is watching the play. Xiao Wu, if you don't plan to save Nangong Yi, you won't stay here. Now Nangong Yi is poisoned. Don't you plan to do it? I don't know what to do. I'm not a doctor. Cloud Dance's vigilant eyes looked at Shengguan, and he was more defensive. Shengguan's attitude towards Yunwu had been expected for a long time. His eyes, which were exposed outside the mask, bent up and were obviously laughing. What kind of people are you? I know very well. Although your people have not been born for many years, their ability to cure diseases and save people depends on their natural abilities. What kind of people? Yunwu's eyes sank. She always guessed that Shengguan saw that Yunwu was carrying 5 poison stones. Unexpectedly, he saw the identity of the descendants of Yunwu's witch clan. This is definitely the biggest threat to her. Shangguan saw Cloud dance, changed his expression and said, "Don't worry, I'm not interested in your blood. What's more, if you can save Nangong Yi, you can also save my friend. I'll ask for you at that time. If you ask for help, others may not agree." Long Qingxie gets up and takes Yunwu behind him. Although he looks up at Shangguan sitting on the horse, his momentum can actually suppress Shangguan. Shangguan rolled his eyes and said, "It's Xiao Wu who decides whether to agree or not you." Although Yunwu's heart is a little bit murderous, it gives Yunwu a little hope. She subconsciously holds the necklace on her neck through her clothes. This Shangguan can see that she is the blood of the witch family. Maybe she can find a way to untie the seal of Bai Lao. Thinking of this, Yunwu resolutely said, "Okay, I'll go with you to see the situation of Nangongji. But I can't guarantee that I can save him." Long Qingxie frowned, but after looking at Yunwu, he still pressed down the words of opposition. He could see what the purpose of Cloud dance was for Shangguan, and it was very important for Cloud dance. Ling'an took a man to lead a horse. Yunwu added, "2 beasts and horses, dragon 4, come with me." Hearing this, Ling'an looked back at the dragon with a twitch of her cheek muscle, but she still swallowed it. Shangguan sat on the horse laughing and clapping his hands and said, "I haven't seen your family's ability to save people. I can finally broaden my horizons." Yunwu didn't answer. Although she is the blood of the witches and has the holy fire in her body, she didn't learn any skills of the witches. In contrast, it is the Queen Xuelio, who still has many sorcery skills in her hand. Don't hold too much hope. Maybe Nangong Yi's life is not good. Long Qingxie is holding Cloud dance. In fact, it is mainly relying on Cloud dance to support his weight. Shangguan's right hand was empty and he put it on his mouth and coughed. "I say you should be virtuous and curse others to death all day long, and now you are punished." Cloud dance nerve tight, look up, the officer's eyes more alert. Even Dragon Qing evil, also staring at Shangguan, can't move the line of sight, that eyes, hidden boundless kill. This Shangguan looks really dangerous. He can see Yunwu's identity at a glance, and he also points out that Long Qingxie is in bad health now. Cloud dance can't help asking, "Who are you?" Guess what? There were 2 chuckles in Shangguan's mouth covered by his mask. The chuckles were a bit naughty, but they seemed to be naive only as a child. Long Qingxie looked at Shangguan for a long time with bad eyes. As soon as his eyelids pulled out, some news flashed in his mind. "Your eyes are really easy to use. No wonder so many people pay a lot of money to buy them." As soon as Long Qingxie said this, Shangguan seemed to be frightened. He shook his horse and almost fell off his horse. How do you know us?" There was panic and fear in Shangguan's eyes. Yunwu could see that he even left immediately after a word of disagreement. This is totally inconsistent with the ruffian arrogance that Shangguan has always shown. Long Qingxie said lazily, "It doesn't matter how I know. What's more, I'm very interested in your eyes." Shangguanqiang straightened his back and snorted, which made him a little aggressive. "Your body is nothing but useless. What can you do for me? I advise you not to be quick for a moment, otherwise, I can destroy your danger first." Dragon Qing evil smell speech hang on Cloud dance body to smile a voice, that laughter even Cloud dance listen to all feel a little harsh. "Since you have such eyes, can't you see if you can kill me?" Yunwu listens to the conversation between the two and looks at Shangguan's ordinary eyes. What's so special about these eyes? When Ling'an brought his horse back, he saw that the atmosphere among Yunwu, Longqingxi, and Shangguan was strange, and it was ready to explode. "What's the matter with you?" "It's okay. I'll go back first." Shangguan shuddered violently on the horse and drove his horse to go alone. Ling'an's suspicious eyes turned to Yunwu and Longqingxi, because his previous failure to save him makes him have no trust in them. Cloud dance is also looking at the dragon, he and Shangguan in the end. What riddle? When it comes to eyes, Shangguan is scared like that. It looks like a ghost wants to kill him. However, Long Qingxie didn't explain the idea for them. He got on a beast horse and sat on the horse and stretched out his hand to Yunwoo. Let's go. Isn't Nanganji still waiting? Yunwoo didn't want to ride with him, but he saw the sweat on the forehead of Longqingxi, and finally sat in front of Longqingxi in the stirrup. After starting, Cloud Dance whispered, "If you can't hold it, hold me, don't move your hands, or I'll throw you down directly." Longqingxia, who was sitting behind her, was laughing in his throat, holding the reins in one hand and the flexible waist of Yunwoo in the other. The people behind are more and more close, but they can hardly feel the heat that once embarrassed Yunwoo. Cloud Dance, looking at the road ahead, did not look back, just wring eyebrows to ask, "Why is your temperature so low?" Dragon Qing, evil whole person, and Cloud Dance stick together, in her ear low voice way, "Small thing, contented, if changed other people, already died." Cloud Dance scolded, "Don't talk nonsense." Behind her, Longqingxia's mouth turned up with a smile, which seemed to be helpful for her caring attitude. Shangguan has long been gone. Ling'an looks at the intimacy of the two of them and simply turns his head. It's clear that he can't see them. When they arrive at the residence of Nangong Yi, the guard comes to report to Ling'an. Shangguan said he was going to take people to catch poisons. He has already left. Ling'an frowned and looked back at Longqingxia. He pressed his anger and asked, "What's going on?" Longqingxia doesn't hang on Yunwoo like a bone. Ling'an's question is not painful to him. "I'm not familiar with Shangguan. What do you want me to do?" "You Ling'an, a stomach fire has no place to send, and think of still in a coma of South Palace have to force to endure, you first with I go in to have a look child." After the narrow courtyard, Ling'an opens the door and Yunwoo finds that the last bad smell is gone. It's mostly because of Nanganji's poisonous hair that the bodyguards took the initiative to remove the poisons. Now it is replaced by a good smell of sandalwood, which tastes elegant and quiet, and makes people very comfortable. Longqingxia doesn't know any exquisite medical skills. He just follows Yunwoo to see her feel the pulse for Nanganji. The Cloud Dance once again probes into the pulse gate of the South Palace in the heart secretly away as expected. There is no pulse. Just as the clouds frown and worry about how to start, the voice of Black Pride comes from Chaos Hall. "Let's poison the blood first, delay the time of his poison." The blood is mixed with hot water and fed to the poison. To feed the poison? Why? Is it? The more toxic it is, the easier it is to perceive the 5 poison stone. Cloud Dance finished the Heart and Black Proud dialogue, side head to Ling'an command way, "You go to prepare a basin of hot water, to just boil." "Okay, anything else?" "No need." Ling'an immediately went out to boil water for Yunwoo. As long as Yunwoo is willing to do something, it means that their young master is still saved. What he is afraid of is that Yunwoo will not let him prepare for anything, saying that he can't help him. In the room, Yunwoo takes out the silver needle and stabs it into several big acupoints around Nanganji. The skin under the acupoints becomes red and swollen gradually. Longqingxia's eyes looked as if the silver needles had some attraction, and the black and red blood kept gathering towards the location of the silver needles. By the time Ling'an came back, Nangong Yi's shoulders, arms, wrists, and the center of his chest and abdomen had already puffed up one blood bubble after another. "Here, Xiao Wu, what's going on?" Ling'an is startled to ask, the heart is startled, the water basin in the hand is almost all smashed by him. That blood bubble is very full, Ling'an sees in the past, feel as if the black and red blood inside all want to prop up to break that thin to shining epidermis, burst to splash out general. Cloud Dance saw the Ling'an of exclamation voice one eyebrow tiny wrinkly, however, but still low mouth. "Put the water by the bed and don't yell when you see anything." Ling'an swallows saliva and looks at Nangong Yi on the bed uneasily. "But when I saw the black and red blood in those blood bubbles that looked like poisonous blood, I had nothing else to say." Seeing that Ling'an was honest, Yunwoo took out a dagger from the space bracelet, grabbed Nan Gongyi's arm outside the bed, and cut the blood bubbles on his wrist, arm and shoulder. Well. Nan Gongyi in a coma sends out a pain to sing, on the face of white gauze, faintly see his that wrinkly brow. Ling'an watched the black blood spatter out and fall into the basin. A strange scene appeared. Originally, it was just a steaming basin. After the black blood splashed in, it was bubbling again. Ling'an's eyes were straight, and she was surprised. When the poisonous blood flows out about 1/3, Yunwoo immediately bandages Nan Gongyi's wound, and then sends a message to Ling'an. Help me move him and let him lie on his side. Because of the wound on Nan Gongyi's right arm, Ling'an finally climbs to the bed and tries to support Nan Gongyi to prevent him from suffering from the wound. Yunwoo has no opinion about it, as long as it doesn't delay her business. Later, Yunwoo cleanly cuts the rest of Nan Gongyi's blood bubbles, and the black blood flows into the water basin, which is boiling. Ling'an looked at the poisonous blood only to flow out some, directly began to bandage the cloud dance, hesitated repeatedly or frowned and asked, Xiao Wu, don't you need to squeeze the poisonous blood clean? Squeeze it clean. Cloud Dance took a look at Ling'an, drew back his eyes, continued his action, and said, if you want him to die, you can squeeze his poisonous blood clean, but if the blood dries, he will die. Ling'an smells speech, the facial expression is tiny change, you mean, you just didn't detoxify for child? Yunwoo didn't answer him immediately. Instead, he tied the last bandage and explored Nangongji's pulse again. He found that there was no pulse at all. But to observe his heartbeat and breathing, you can find that the situation is a little better than just now. Just looked up at Ling'an and said, if his poison is so easy to solve, why do you and Shengguan go all out to look for the 5 poison stone when you come here? Is it because you are full? Yunwoo took a towel and wiped his hands. He took out a small medicine bottle from the space bracelet and spilled the powder inside. The boiling liquid cools rapidly, solidifies, and finally forms a dark crystal. Take this to feed the captured poisons. According to the habit of the 5 poison stone, the more poisonous it is, the easier it is to find it. Ling'an hears speech, although in the heart understand, but, still not at ease of Saw South Palace E. Although, under the white gauze, he can't see Nan Gongyi's face clearly, but his frown seems to be flattened. He's a little relieved, and he's going to talk to other bodyguards with the basin. However, when Ling'an went out, Yunwoo reminded him, remember, don't let them directly touch the things in the basin, otherwise, they will die before the poison is fed. Ling'an looks at the basin with his bare hands and frowns. He is a little surprised at the bottom of his heart. However, he still remembers to go out in his heart. After Ling'an went out, there was a moment of silence in the room. Long Qingxie observes Nangongji, who is unconscious for a while. His dark eyes are inexplicably deep, which makes people wonder what he is thinking. However, at this time, he asked, little thing, it seems that you know how to cure this kind of poison according to what you have just done. Cloud Dance smells speech, after glancing at him, just shake headway, if I know, why wait here to waste time? I'm afraid it won't take long for that to be a temporary way to curb. Long Qingxie is not interested in whether Nangongji can survive. However, I heard Cloud Dance say that it won't take long, the corner of my mouth slightly raised up, it seems that I'm in a happy mood. Of course, in order not to let the woman notice, he hid well. Just, Cloud Dance at this time of mind, but also out of mind. It's really strange that Hei Ao was able to explain just now. You know, Hei Ao is very proud. If it's not for her danger or something related to her, he doesn't care about everything. But this time, it's for Nangongji. It's strange. Ling'an quickly distributed the most poisonous feed and came back to report to Yunwoo. Yunwoo raised his hand to stop him and said to him, I have done what I can, and I can't help with the rest. As for refining antidotes, I believe Shengguan can solve it. If there is nothing, we will leave first. Ling'an wants to talk and stop looking at Yunwoo, seems to want to say something, but, in the end, it is not finished. Nangong Yi's poison, Cloud Dance, is really no way, although she has modern medical skills, but it is not omnipotent, especially, the strange poison of this strange world, has gone beyond the scope of her understanding and detoxification. Although, considering that Nangong Yi helped her last time. However, there is something wrong with Long Qingxia's body at this time. Since Nangong Yi is okay for the time being, Yunwu will not waste time. With an explanation, Yunwu and Longqing leave. Back at camp. In addition to everyone's more and more formal attitude towards Cloud Dance and Dragon, there is nothing unusual about the rest. The bodyguards are responsible for catching poisons, and the people in the camp have been idle for another 2 days. Cloud Dance is to take advantage of these 2 days to find out the location and distribution of the 5-level Warcraft in the area of the Warcraft forest. It just needs to start. Under the tree next to the camp, the dragon who came out of the tent went to Yunwu and sat down. What do you think? Or are you worried about Nangongji? Cloud Dance Light saw a dragon to pour evil one eye. To his this kind of question don't bother to answer. What I want to know more now is, what is the origin of that Shengguan? For the Shengguan, Yunwu was really curious. Dragon Qing Evil Smell Speech, after seeing Cloud Dance, seemed to secretly sigh. Just will line of sight fall in the forest depth, low voice says. It is said that in ancient times, most of the Warcraft could be transformed into human form. At that time, many human families married with Warcraft and obtained protection, and human descendants would have some special power of Warcraft. However, later, I don't know what happened, high-level Warcraft died in large numbers, and human beings who married with Warcraft family gradually died out. In the end, it's just the Warcraft forest, where there are many low-level Warcraft. Cloud Dance heard, cannot help but feel a little surprised. What can turn into human form are all Warcraft that have broken through the 9th level. What can make them fall down? If there is such a force in the world, wouldn't it be terrible? Maybe that power cannot easily kill these human beings. Long Qingxia said with a smile, little things, those are all rumors thousands of years ago. Who knows what the situation was at that time? However, you don't have to think so much about it. Maybe it was some natural disaster or internal killing. Finally, everyone died together. Who knows if it was true or false? Behind that words, the dragon inclines evil some to ponder to say. Although Yunwu felt strange, it didn't say much. Perhaps, it's the most reasonable way to say that Long Qingxia, otherwise, it's really terrible. However, just when Yunwu was thinking like this, a slight wave suddenly came from the Chaos Hall. By the way, how could she forget Hyo? Cloud Dance can't help but heart read a move, in front of the black proud inquiry of Chaos Temple asks away. Hyo, do you know about the fall of Warcraft? However, what Yunwu didn't expect was that as soon as her question fell, the fluctuation in the Chaos Hall suddenly became intense. Cloud Dance can clearly feel that the Hall of Chaos floating in the sea of consciousness is shaking, as if there is an earthquake inside. This made Yunwu, who had already established consciousness connection with Chaos Hall, feel dizzy and almost fell to the ground. Long Qingxia finds that the Cloud Dance is not in the right condition, and reaches out his hand in time to pull the Cloud Dance back to the ground. Little thing, what's the matter with you? Yunwu is dizzy and full of brain. She leans against Long Qingxi's arms. The feeling of whirling around makes her feel like she's sitting in a boat in the storm. The whole person is hard to get. Damn Hyo, who is the master of Chaos Hall? However, Cloud Dance is still feeble to Dragon Qing Xia perfunctory I'm okay. Immediately, the voice from the bottom of my heart immediately called out to the black pride in the Chaos Hall. Hyo, calm down. But Chaos Hall is still in continuous vibration, seems to be able to clearly feel out of the black AO that emotional unrest. Hyo, do you want me to command you as the master of Chaos Hall? Stop right now. The second sentence had an immediate effect on Hyo. After shaking out the last ripple, Chaos Hall finally came to a standstill. Cloud Dance in the heart-relaxed tone, endure to still have some uncomfortable feeling, say to Long Qingxie, send me back to tent first, I want to have a rest. To be exact, she needs a quiet environment to communicate with Hayo. However, at this time, Long Qingxie was staring at her strangely and straightly, as if he wanted to see her soul. Why are you looking at me like this? Yunwu frowned at him. Don't hide something from me. Dragon Qing evil looking at her, inexplicably said such a sentence. Yunwu was surprised, but he soon returned to normal and looked into his eyes. One day, you cannot hide me. Maybe, I will think about it. This words, let Long Qing evil a sign Leng, Black Mao dark sink. Maybe, there are some things, both of them feel it's not the time to speak, or maybe, in their hearts, there is a forbidden area that no one can touch. Camp. Looking at Long Qingxie holding Cloud Dance back to the tent, Lao Hu and others, seeing this, all came forward to ask a few questions of concern, and were prevaricated by Long Qingxie for the reason of, too tired to detoxify Nanganji. Into the tent, Cloud Dance will excuse want to sleep for a while, the dragon to support out. Long Qingxie looks at Yunwu's eyes, which is a bit mysterious, but he doesn't say anything in the end. Yunwu is lying on the bed. It seems that she has fallen asleep. In fact, her spirit has sunk into the sea of consciousness and entered the Hall of Chaos. Now Yunwu has entered the Chaos Hall countless times, but she has never seen such a picture. Chaos Palace is a mess. Mess? Yes, it's a mess. Although this piece of space, in addition to the floating in the air of the dragon, with the lawn of Xianyuan fruit trees, is just empty. However, at this time, in this empty space, the original thin vitality becomes mixed and surging, spreading around, giving people a kind of extremely messy chaos. Even the vigorous Xianyuan fruit tree, which is rooted in Shengmen, has withered some branches and leaves. Look at the broken branches and leaves, who destroyed most of them. Cloud Dance looked for a circle, did not see Black Proud, simply stood in situ and so on. Before long, there was a fuzzy black mist in front of Yunwu. Fog twist, condensation, gradually revealed the Black Proud body. Come on, what's the matter with you just now? You're going to tear down my Chaos Palace, aren't you? Black AO stood in front of the Cloud Dance in silence, a pair of scarlet eyes like watching the Cloud Dance, but more like passing through the shadow of the Cloud Dance and seeing the vast distance. Cloud Dance to see him like this, if you can't guess what's fishy, it's really silly. Therefore, she did not beat around the bush, directly asked, is it related to the ancient Warcraft group? See, Cloud Dance that words just fall, Black Proud cheek twitch for a while, the forehead is taut, the blood vessel under the skin is violently bouncing. It seems that there is something to break out, but in the end, it disappeared. He looked at the Cloud Dance. After a long time, a word came from the hoarse voice, yes. Although Yunwu has always believed that Hayo lived for a long time, he never thought that he would be related to the ancient Warcraft group. What species did she enter into a master-servant contract with? How can Yunwu not be surprised at the bottom of his heart? However, his face remained unchanged. Don't ask me anything else. With your current strength, knowing too much is not good for you, and it will bring you many dangers you can't cope with. With that, Hayo sat on the ground beside the trunk of Xianyuan fruit tree. Those green branches and leaves, in the Black Proud side gently flick, like consciousness in pacifying his heart. Cloud Dance thought of will Black Proud words chew again, suddenly realize what, eyes a stare. Do you mean that the people who destroyed the Warcraft clan still exist in this world? Hayo Wei nodded, although I'm imprisoned here, I can feel that for so long, no matter how many races have been destroyed and disappeared in front of the eyes of the world, they still exist. When Yunwu heard this, her heart was a little chilly. Such a huge and terrible power, they have existed for such a long time, but they have been hidden in the dark. Who are they? What do you want to do? Black Proud see Cloud Dance that frown heavy color appearance, light smile don't worry so much, they are only interested in the strong, and they have to be stronger than them. Now you can't be in their eyes. Cloud dance can't tell what it's like in my heart. Are you not willing to be strong enough to see the reality of the world, or are you glad that you are not strong enough to be the target of those secret people? Go back. Today, I'm out of control. After all, it's been a long time since I've heard about that. Hayo's back is against the tree trunk of Xianyuan fruit tree, which gives off wisps of vitality. What's in his voice is the desolate taste that makes people sad. Remember, don't pry into their information before you are short of strength. It will do you all kinds of harm but not any benefit. Looking at the black pride who has closed his eyes to rest, Yunwu doesn't continue to disturb him, but chooses to retreat quietly. Yunwu thinks that many times, people need a place to lick their wounds. Chaos Temple to Hayo, is it such an existence now? Leaving the sea of consciousness, Yunwu lies in the tent and opens her eyes. The dim light makes her look like a layer of fuzzy virtual shadow, which is very unreal. But do you mean to say that you even hurt your soul for me? Cloud danced these words, poor is to let the long Qing evil silent down. His deep black eyes looked at the cloud dance, like a lot of words, but he didn't intend to say it, some mysterious and some feeling of smoking. Of course I want to go through fire and water for you, but you haven't given me a chance. This man's glib has made Yunwu feel used to it. He didn't take his words seriously. Instead, he sat up straight, followed by the topic he hadn't finished before, and asked Dragon Qingxie. Well, don't be glib. What do you have to do with Shengguan when you told me about the ancient rumors? Is he a legacy of that race? Or, what's the relationship? If that Shengguan was really left by the ancient ethnic group, it would be much stronger than it is now, right? But the Shengguan she saw didn't seem to be like that. For the question of cloud dance, Long Qingxie didn't answer immediately. But he found a few cushions, leaned on the wooden box, and continued to talk with Yunwu. Because of this legend, many people feel that the combination of human and warcraft can get stronger power. You say, if a person who is eager to become stronger knows about it, what will he do? The dragon's evil eyes cool cloud dances back. Does anyone think of a way? Yunwu didn't finish what she said. She felt that the person who did that must be a madman. It's said that a long time ago, there was a secluded family who did their best to capture a 9th-level warcraft. In addition, the most powerful clan is selected to combine with the 9th-level warcraft. After listening to Yunwu, she was speechless. Capturing and imprisoning level 9 warcraft, that secluded family really has a strong foundation and strength. Soon, the first child with warcraft blood was born in the family. But something unexpected happened to them. In fact, there are many hidden dangers and defects in the combination of man and beast. What's more, for unknown reasons, once man and beast are combined, they will be cursed. Plant a curse. This, let Cloud dance stunned. It's the first time I've heard that in a different world. Long Qingxie changed his posture and continued, all the children born in that family since then have part of the ability of the 9th-level warcraft, but they must drink the blood of the higher-level warcraft for a long time to survive, otherwise, they will die of aging in a short time. After listening to Cloud dance, he asked, just drink animal blood? What curse can be cracked so easily? Of course not. At first, the family thought so. But what happened later made them understand that they were all wrong. At this point, Long Qingxie stopped. That curse, in fact, has just begun. Women in that family, after giving birth to children, will gradually have the desire to eat their children's flesh and blood. Even if the child is sent thousands of miles away, the mother will try to find it and eat it. And even if the inherited blood also agree to a similar situation, in the end, that family can survive the offspring, has been very few eat it? Yunwu was shocked by the curse. It's just, who planted the curse? It's too vicious and weird, isn't it? In addition to the children's mothers who want to devour them, some people who know their abilities also hunt them as Warcraft. After all, they do have the blood of level 9 Warcraft. Cloud Dance is looking at the flame of oil lamp beating, and asks evil to the dragon. Shangguan is the descendant of this family? The dragon's evil look was a little dark. Yes, Shangguan should be the descendants of that family. They inherited the eye of that Warcraft and gained some power that does not belong to human beings. Cloud Dance smells speech in the heart again have new doubt appear, she to the dragon pour evil to ask away, but, how do you know his identity? Little thing, Weifu knows more than you, otherwise, how can Weifu protect you? Long Qingxie reaches out his hand and knocks on Yunwu's forehead. The action is intimate and natural, just like a pair of lovers. Yunwu pushes away the hand of Long Qingxie, retreats and leaves the position within reach of Long Qingxie. Since they have inherited such a strange power, why should they be so timid? Just now he knew that your power was damaged, and he ran away like a frightened rabbit. Is that unreasonable? In response, Long Qingxie just laughed and replied, what they inherited is not the fighting power of Warcraft against the sky, just the eyes. They have been living in exile for a long time. When they were young, they had to watch their peers being swallowed by their parents, caught by strangers, and their eyes gouged out. Of course, they were extremely afraid of people who could see their identity. Yunwu sighed, unable to say whether he sympathized with Shangguan or what. What is the purpose of such a life? Cloud Dance found the atmosphere a little dull, and turned to say, don't say this, do you think they can find the 5 poison stone in time? Long Qingxie may mention another man all the time to Yunwu. Naturally, he is not happy. He takes a look at the hanging curtain and raises a cruel radiance at the corner of his mouth. Even if they find the 5 poison stone, they can't kill the Warcraft attracted by the 5 poison stone now. At that time, Nangong Yi will still die. The level of Warcraft needed is higher than that of Snow Devil Wolf or the man-eating snake. Long Qingxie sleeps on the back of his head with one hand, lazily prolonging the tone. On the outside, it can attract the cannibals who are close to there, not to mention in this place close to the depth of the Warcraft forest. There are more than 4 orders, and 5 orders are not uncommon. Moreover, it's certainly not just one. Cloud Dance can't help but silence down, she originally thought really not good, will her 5 poison stone out to save Nangong Yi once. Unexpectedly, things are so difficult. Even if there are 5 poison stones, the Warcraft attracted by them at that time can't be solved. The sound of horses' hooves came from outside the tent. Yunwu stretched out his hand to lift the curtain, and saw Ling'an jump off the animal horse and run towards the tent where they were. Ling'an shouts to Yunwu from a distance, Xiao Wu, call up Dragon 4, follow me. Yunwu stands in front of the tent and doesn't mean to move a place at all. She asks coldly when Ling'an comes near. What can I do for you? You can go to find the 5 poison stone. Shangguan said that he would take you with him. Ling'an a sweat, also don't know is hot or urgent. Cloud Dance behind her felt friction sound, Dragon Qing evil from the tent came out, looking at Ling'an with a smile. He said, shall we go? Ling'an didn't like to see Long Qingxie from the beginning to the end. He pointed to Long Qingxie and said angrily, you should do something when you take money. If other people in the camp, most of them would be submissive and follow Ling'an's orders to take risks. It's a pity that Long Qingxie is doomed not to eat his way. As far as I know, all the people here get the task of going out to look for the 5 poison stone. But Shangguan asked you to call our brothers, not just to find the 5 poison stone, right? Long Qingxie looks at Ling'an's eyes as if with layers of blades, which can cut off all the false appearances of Ling'an and peel off the original appearance of things. Ling'an was not at ease when he was seen by Long Qingxie. He said, Shangguan really said that after finding the 5 poison stone, he still needs to catch the Warcraft to obtain the materials for refining the medicine. It will be safer if you two are there at that time. Long Qingxie snorted from his nose, and his posture showed some arrogance that didn't belong to the image of hunter. We didn't take over the task, you want to deceive us. It's true that they are the people taught by Nangong Yi. They all have no credit. If you want to scold me, scold me. Why do you take my son with you? Ling'an suddenly opened his eyes and raised his tone to refute, as if the sentence of Long Qingxie had scolded his family. What Long Qingxie dislikes most is the worship attitude of these people towards Nangong Yi. He lifts the tent curtain and turns back. He doesn't even bother to pay attention to Ling'an, who is still jumping. Ling'an refused to see Dragon's evil face to face, so she had to lower the platform to Yunwu. Xiao Wu, will you come with us? Yunwu takes a look at the quiet tent, and the dragon has no self-protection ability now. If she goes, what will the dragon do? Although she owes Nangong Yi, she gradually understands that it is not important for the safety of this man. Ling'an wants to persuade Yunwu a few more words, so Long Qingxie adds a coat and comes out again. Ling'an and Cloud Dance all have no reaction to come over. How does Long Qingxie suddenly want to work with them to save Nangong Yi? Long Qingxie impatiently said to Ling'an, what are you waiting for? Don't you hurry to start. Okay, I'll take you there now. Ling'an naturally won't take care of the dragon's evil spirits. Why does he change his attitude? Instead, he is afraid that if he asks a few more questions, the arrogant Dragon 4 will not go. Little thing, what's the matter? Why don't you go, you? Yunwu wanted to ask him about this move, but in the end, he was still silent. However, on the way to meet with Shengguan, Yunwu rode a beast horse close to the dragon and cared for him in a low voice. Why do you come out of this physical condition? Although you're not willing to say it, I'm not stupid. I cannot let you deal with Warcraft with them alone. In case you have an accident, who will compensate me for the most vicious woman? Long Qingxie sits firmly on the horse. If Yunwu didn't see the sweat from his black hair on the side, she would almost mistakenly think that Long Qingxie is healthy now. Although when Long Qing said this, he always had an unorthodox smile on his face, and the content was more like telling a joke with Yunwu. But the cloud dance of solving the dragon's evil body condition is still inexplicable, so it's a little unbearable. Cloud dance forbeared, or to dragon tilt evil way, otherwise, you go back first, I will be okay, even if something really happened, I can always protect myself. Dragon Qingxie turned to look at the clouds, as if he had found a new world. There was a shining star in his black eyes. Little thing, are you reluctant to suffer for your husband? Cloud Dance ear rude a heat, this just realized oneself just thought to mean what? She immediately held the reins and looked at the road ahead without strabismus. I just think it's too troublesome for me to collect your corpse when you die, she said, don't worry. I can't bear to work hard for my husband. Even if I'm dying, I'll find a grave to jump down. Long Qingxie said life and death very easily, as if in his eyes, is life or death, is just a joke. Yunwu was so angry by the dragon's evil attitude that he simply said, okay, don't die in front of me. Finish saying, also no matter what reaction of Dragon Qing evil, directly drive horse to follow Ling'an. Ah, this little thing is getting more and more angry. Long Qingxie complained, but the smile on his face couldn't be covered up. Why is Yunwu angry? Isn't it because he doesn't cherish his life? This little thing is beginning to know how to love him. The more she makes a tantrum, the more happy she is. Along the way, Ling'an hears the Long Qingxie's coaxing cloud dance behind him. However, at the end of each time, either Dragon Qingxie talks to himself or Dragon Qingxie cries. Most of the time, Yunwu's face was a little chilly. However, the bystanders could see that she could not help caring with her eyes or body movements. For such a pair of brothers, Ling'an also felt a little strange. How can a brother coax his brother like a lover? What's more, the younger brother's reaction is similar to that of an awkward little lover. All the way, Ling'an was thinking wildly. Before he came up with a clue, the three men rushed to the place where Shengguan decided to put poison to look for the 5 poison stone. Lingyan stopped and said to Shengguan, Shengguan, I've brought people here. Get ready. We'll start looking for the 5 poison stone right away. Shengguan's glance at Long Qingxie was somewhat evasive. Yunwu could see that if he didn't need to use the 5 poison stone, Shengguan would have escaped directly. Xiao Wu, let's have a rest first. After Yunwu got off the horse, Long Qingxie took Yunwu to a big clean stone and sat down. In addition to making Lingyan look at him more unfriendly, few people dare to raise objection. After all, the bodyguards here have seen how Long Qingxie subdued Shengguan on the spot. Moreover, Shengguan also said that he would ask for things later, so everyone would naturally walk around him. Cloud Dance lowered voice to Long Qing Evil Concern Wei, your body how, still can hold. Little thing, I'm not so weak that I may lose my breath at any time. You can be at ease. Long Qingxie reaches out his hand and rubs Yunwu's black hair helplessly. He walks all the way in the sun and burns Yunwu's hair. It feels warm and comfortable. Cloud Dance in the heart has been thinking, thoughts fly fast. For a long time, she said to the dragon, in a word, if something happens, just sit here and don't do it. Long Qingxie said, little thing, do you want to watch you go through life and death for your husband? Even if you do it, I will carry you back. If you don't do it, maybe you can carry me back to save my energy. Cloud Dance stares at Long Qingxie and warns, you are not allowed to do it. If you dare to do it, I will tie you up and throw you to the side of the road. Anyway, you can't beat me now. All right, all right, all right. Long Qingxie raised his hand like surrendering, and looked at Yunwu with his eyes doting on him. It's the failure of Fu Gang, alas. Cloud Dance has long given up to correct Long Qingxie's Wei Fu. To tell you the truth, she is getting used to it. If one day Long Qingxie did not say, maybe she would feel strange. As soon as his thoughts floated out, Yunwu was pulled back by Shengguan's voice. Xiao Wu, you sprinkle this on your body, so that when you release poison later, you won't be bitten. Cloud Dance visually inspected the distance between Shengguan and them, at least 5 steps. Just when she was thinking about how Shengguan would give them the medicine, Shengguan raised her hand and threw 2 medicine bottles directly. Cloud Dance reflexively reached out to catch it and then looked up. Shengguan had already run away. You see, you frighten people. I start to worry. When I get the materials for refining medicine, will he just leave Nanganji and run away with the medicine? Cloud Dance hand one of the medicine bottles to Long Qingxie and say. Long Qingxie sprinkled the powder on his body and said with a light look, they attach the most importance to Xinhua. Unless he dies, he will surely give Nangong Yi the medicine first. The bodyguards also spread the powder all over their bodies, and then opened the cages where the poisons were kept. Hearing the sound of sua sua, I think of the scale rubbing sound peculiar to reptiles. I feel numb all over my body and feel uncomfortable from the cracks in my bones. The powder works well. Yunwu saw that the poisons had bypassed the living people and whispered a word. Long Qingxie nodded and said, I'll go and get some bottles for you later. Then we'll go into the Warcraft forest alone. This powder should also be useful. Yunwu was very natural to him, just like his natural bandit habit. Not long after that, there was a guard hanging on the tree to observe the overall situation. The poisons are converging in one place. This sound directly aroused everyone's emotions. Shengguan flew to the tree where the bodyguard was, and personally checked the direction of the poison. After a few breaths, Shengguan said excitedly, everyone, go southeast. The bodyguards were in high spirits and moved to the southeast. Long Qingxie, who is sitting at the side to rest and watch the play, reaches out and grabs Yunwu and stays in place. Long Qingxie hung half of his body on Yunwu like a soft bone, and his cold forehead was close to Yunwu's cheek. What's the hurry? Let them go and look for it slowly first. It's not necessarily the 5 poison stone. It didn't take long for the Long Qing heresy to be verified. Not long after Shengguan chased them out in the southeast direction, a group of people took the captured poisons and started the second round of releasing poisons again. Long Qingxie looked at the busy bodyguards from a distance and said with a slight sneer, "If the 5 poison stones were so easy to find, the 5 poison stones in this world would have been taken home long ago." Cloud Dance think of Long Qingxie hit and found 5 poison stone by mistake, how to think that he is too lucky. Dragon Qing Evil seems to see the idea of Cloud Dance, knocked on her forehead, and told her the reason. "Little thing, when you find 5 poison stones for your husband, it's all your luck." Human beings are much more intuitive than those low-level snake and insect poisons. These things can't feel the 5 venom stones all their lives, but people with poison are likely to feel the 5 venom stones. Cloud Dance in the heart move, think of Long Qingxie initiative request to take Forest Fire Sun out of the Warcraft forest thing. At that time, you didn't run for the 5 poison stone, did you? The dragon poured out evil but did not smile. He neither admitted nor denied it. This man is really Cloud Dance looks at the man of evil nearby, really can't help but in the heart secretly broken read a insidious fox. Long Qingxie looks like a play, watching Shengguan and Ling'an go away with hope and disappointment with other bodyguards. Yunwu naturally sat with Long Qingxie and watched the people come and go. "I just missed a handful of melon seeds." After tossing about for 4 or 5 times, even if it is regarded as watching a play and can be repeated, it really doesn't have much interest. When everyone was a little frustrated, Shengguan finally found out after chasing those poisons. The commotion of the crowd soon attracted the attention of Yunwu and Long Qingxie. Under their own sign, the bodyguards gradually gathered near a piece of grass. Cloud Dance and Dragon Qing Evil look at each other, guessing that maybe it's really something this time. "Little thing, let's go and have a look." Long Qingxie takes the lead to get up, holds Yunwu in his arms, presses Taiban's weight on her and walks with her. Cloud Dance wrinkled eyebrow, but still like this, carry the dragon to poor evil to walk all the way. When he got near, Yunwu looked at Shengguan who was half lying on the ground and asked him, "Shengguan, have you found the 5 poison stone?" Shengguan didn't answer Yunwu. He was throwing bottles of unknown drugs around. He waved his back to her in a hurry. He didn't know whether he wanted her to be quiet or to answer her questions. "It should be." Or Ling'an came and whispered a word to Yunwu. Cloud danced to see Ling'an that is full of joy expression, the heart knows that this is 89 not leave 10. After Shengguan was busy, he got up and made a definite gesture towards Ling'an behind him. "Spread out around, don't guard here, or Warcraft won't come. Everyone should be alert. It may not be very easy to deal with." Ling'an face of joy convergence a lot of, to this time with the bodyguard carefully ordered again, bodyguards immediately well-trained each find a hiding place. The Cloud Dance and the Dragon Poor Evil don't need them to say, then return to sit on the big stone of the previous temporary rest. Cloud Dance is observing the bodyguards who ambush in the dark, and asks the dragon, "Do you think Warcraft will come?" "Yes, and it won't be long." Long Qingxie seems to know Shengguan's medicine very well, and his answer is very positive. Under the affirmative answer of Long Qingxie, Yunwu is more sure about meeting Warcraft tonight. The stars scattered in the night blink with the human beings on the ground, quietly waiting for the arrival of Warcraft. I don't know how long later, there was a slight sound coming from a distance. Sha 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 sha. This sound is very similar to the one I heard when I encountered a man eating snake when I was sleeping in the wild. It's just that this time there are some subtle differences. It's like that in addition to dragging something on the ground, some hard objects are moving the gravel on the ground. With a look of awe-inspiring, Yunwu stood in front of Longqing's evil body, then took out the thin sword from the space bracelet and held it in his hand. Shengguan's voice came with the night wind. "Everyone, be alert." Long Qingxie's posture is leisurely sitting behind Yunwu. He looks at Yunwu's not tall figure blocking in front of him. He always smiles lightly and has a special radiance. the thing in the dark didn't move very fast. We waited for a long time before we could see some big shadows in the moonlight. Cloud Dance carefully counted the number of shadows. There are 3. Long Qingxie has said before that the level of Warcraft that the 5 poison stone attracts after being stimulated by the poison should be level 4 and level 5. If it's 3 4th order Warcraft, they still have a fight. However, if there are 2 or even 3 5th order Warcraft in it, things will be tricky. Shangguan and Yunwu thought of the same place. He said to everyone, "Don't act rashly, wait first. Little thing, I depend on you to protect me." Long Qingxie hugs Yunwu from behind, her chin is on her shoulder, and her posture is intimate. Cloud Dance didn't have good spirit of glancing at him one eye, low voice way, early said to let you don't come. Dragon Qingxie chuckles, and there is an unspeakable flavor in the voice. He seemed to regard the words of Cloud Dance as love words, with sweet and greasy laughter. The 3 shadows were no less cautious than Yunwu. Each of them walked very slowly, for fear of disturbing their opponents. The rustling sound is like a piece of sandpaper polished by people's hearts, which makes everyone extremely uncomfortable. Finally, the 3 shadows came closer and closer, revealing their true colors in the moonlight. There was a series of air-conditioning sounds around. Before Yunwu asked, Long Qingxie had already explained it to her. Fortunately, 3 purple scorpions at the top of the 4th level didn't provoke the 5th level Warcraft. Cloud Dance listened to the explanation of Dragon's evil wind and light cloud, and didn't know how to say that he was good. 3-4 level top Warcraft, is this easy to deal with? As soon as she thought about this, Long Qingxie immediately said, 1 or 2 purple scorpions are okay to deal with, but if 3 purple scorpions are combined, their combat effectiveness is no worse than that of Warcraft at the top of the 5th level. Top 5. This is the same as the Snow Devil Wolf. Cloud Dance thought of the sentence, "good luck," just now, and determined that he must have been saying something ironic just now. Shangguan was not very satisfied with this development. He went up and down several times and came to Yunwu. Nangong Yi's bodyguards can't deal with these things. It's up to you and me to join hands. Although Shangguan said, Yunwu found that he was looking at the dragon all the time. Long Qingxie turned his lips and said lazily, "You don't know. I can't do it now. It's too nice to expect me. Then it's up to little 5. Shangguan's eyes were burning and he looked at Long Qingxie. The meaning of this was self-evident. It's Nangongyi and your friends who need detoxification. Why do I have to do it? Cloud Dance can't bear the threat revealed in Shangguan's words, and her eyes are cold. Shangguan seems to have no idea that Yunwu has such a saying. He looks at Yunwu in great confusion and doesn't know why she won't help. How can you see death without help? Yunwu's attitude towards Shangguan's insistence that she will do something is more puzzling. Why does she have to save her? Shangguan's next words, let Yunwu narrow his pupils. The blood of your people has always taken saving the world and people as their own duty. When you come here, will you break the rules? To save the world and save people? Is this what the witch people are like? A queen, Xueliu, totally denied it, didn't she? Of course, among the forces made by Xueliu, it seems that she belongs to the dark faction of the witch clan. As for the bright faction, she doesn't have this one in her mind. Of course, even if there is, it seems that it's none of her business. She is a killer whose hands are stained with blood, but she will not be merciful to the feat of sacrificing her life to save the world. Yunwu and Shangguan looked at each other, but at that moment, a light suddenly flashed in her heart. By the way, isn't she just nowhere to find out about the witch clan? Perhaps, she can get some information about the sorcery from the Shangguan. About the witch clan, Yunwu has always been full of doubts. Hayo knows a lot of things, but Yunwu can feel it. Hayo doesn't want to say more. Now Shangguan has made a start. Yunwu has a question that she always wants to ask. However, the current situation has not given her such time. Not far away, three purple scorpions are about to meet. The sound of the hard shell rubbing against the ground rubs everyone's eardrum. After they met, the three purple scorpions were so persistent to the 5 venom stone that they made hostile calls to their peers. That kind of hissing makes Yunwoo's ears ache a little, and the sharp sound wave penetrates the eardrum and goes directly to the brain. Like there are countless needles, pierced into the brain of Yunwoo. Here we go. Shangguan looked at the 3 purple striped scorpions who raised their huge tails to other similar scorpions, and was very satisfied with the development. Yunwoo guessed Shangguan's idea at a glance. If these purple scorpions fight with each other, it's better to damage some of them. In this way, they, as human beings, can reap the benefits of fishing yesterday. Those monsters soon started to fight. The pincers of adults, like scorpion tails made of steel, are their most powerful weapons. For a moment, with the fighting of these warcraft, Yunwoo felt that the ground under his feet was shaking frequently. Some of the trees around were badly affected, and many of the small trees were directly destroyed into broken wood and debris. Of the 3 scorpions, one obviously has the upper hand. It's a circle bigger than the other 2. When the scorpion's tail beat the other 2, the 2 purple scorpions gave out a painful cry. In the moonlight, the biggest purple scorpion was shining with a metallic luster. One of the 2 smaller purple scorpions was beaten several meters away by the giant pincers, and the other was knocked to the ground by the powerful scorpion tail. Taking the 5 poison stone as the center, the grass chips, broken wood and dust interweave into a choking smoke, which obscures people's sight. Shangguan stared at the fight with breath, holding his hands in front of him, very nervous. People are secretly expecting that this purple scorpion can beat the other 2 away or even kill them. In this way, their danger will be reduced a lot. However, the reason why a wish is that it is difficult to achieve. Long Qingxie colludes with Yunwoo and watches the fighting of those warcraft. When he sees Shangguan's nervous and expectant appearance, he shows an inexplicable smile. I saw that the 2 smaller purple scorpions were no longer blindly attacking after they climbed back. On the contrary, they are close to each other and have the meaning of joint operations. The enemy of the enemy is the friend. This iron law also applies to warcraft. When the 2 purple scorpions made an appointment and rushed towards the bigger one, Yunwoo's eyes unconsciously showed a look of surprise. Long Qingxie said, even if they are a group of wild dogs, they know that they should join hands when they meet a strong enemy. What's more, they are the top 4 warcraft. Yunwoo didn't speak. He just looked at Long Qingxie's face in the moonlight. Seeing that he didn't have any discomfort, he was relieved to pay attention to the war situation again. About this strategy had an effect, and the larger purple scorpion was soon unable to resist and lost again and again. Even its metal-like shell left a lot of scars. Strangely, Yunwoo did not see blood flowing out of those wounds, but saw light smoke coming out of the cracks. When Shangguan saw this scene, he suddenly let out a cry. Attack the wounded purple scorpion. After shouting this sentence, Shangguan took the lead in flying away. He was not armed. Cloud Dance found that after Shangguan landed next to the 3 purple scorpions, his hands changed. Shangguan's hands grew bigger gradually, and his nails grew longer quickly, and then turned into steel claws. It seems that the dragon-inclined heresy Shangguan has the blood of the Warcraft group in his body, which is really true. After all, humans can't have claws like that. Ling'an and others don't know why Shangguan made a sudden move, but this time they pinned their hopes on Shangguan. He said that Ling'an naturally brought people into the war. When the 3 purple scorpions didn't seem to understand why there were human beings, Shangguan rushed to the injured purple scorpion. His injured claws instantly grow into nearly a foot long, hard grasp like a purple scorpion dissatisfied with the crustacean head. The target is its black bean-like eyes. Oh, the purple scorpion did not expect that there would be an ambush enemy, caught off guard by this blow, issued a painful howl. The huge pincers are like 2 human arms, which grasp Shangguan flexibly. If the sharp sawtooth is clamped on Shangguan's body, he will become a corpse cut into 2 parts. At the critical moment, Shengguan retreated. Lingen cut the pincers of purple scorpion with his long sword in time. Bang! The sound of gold and stone sounded, and a dazzling spark burst out on the shell of purple scorpion, and the pain of eating retreated. Because of the appearance of Shengguan and their human beings, the scene froze for a moment. The three purple scorpions leaned together intentionally or unintentionally. When faced with enemies of their own kind, they united again and united with each other. Long Qingxia looked at Shengguan. They surrounded the three purple scorpions and said faintly, "Tut, look for death." Cloud Dance catches the key point and asks the dragon, "What is the gas in the wound of purple scorpion?" "It's poison gas. Don't forget, they are poisonous scorpions." In addition to the poisonous needle on the tail of scorpion, there is a layer of poisonous gas hidden under the carapace. Once humans are infected with too much, even if they are hunted by humans, humans will die under the poisonous gas. Yunwu then understood why Shengguan was in a hurry. No matter how the purple scorpion won or lost, they were all dead. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.